very long games.
Shaker is a very skilled hero, and you simply press Fissure and Totem on the wave, and it gets deleted. You can buy as much time as you want.
Yep, so does Snap. Chen also. I think both teams have incredible things. And when you get to the stage, sure, the draft matters, but to me, the gameplay is what truly is going to decide this game.
We'll see if we'll get to that late stage. I do know we're going to go on the stage right now because it is Astini that we're going to listen to with Slides.
Many of the games and the tournaments they've won this year have been off of Malrine getting active early, as he is playing with one of the greedier offlane players in the tournament, in Amar, of course. And I think if there's one word to describe Falcons as a team through its entirety of its history, it is greedy, right?
Yeah.
They always farm. Snaking maybe the position 5 in the team that gets the most last hits on average, I would think. Just has some ridiculous farming performance.
And I feel like a person that gets lost in the shuffle is actually Skeeter. He maybe doesn't take the most farm, even though he is position 1. He feels like he is the most consistent because Malrine and Amar, they take up a lot of space. They're very flashy, but the steadiest one on the team, I feel like, is actually Skeeter, which is not very common for like a position 1.
I think Falcons deserve credit for finding a way to somehow run out of farm on the map so that Skeeter can't get a position 1 farm every game, but that's just how efficient they are.
Balance Strike, Malrine.
9 class.
Yeah, not much he can do here. Shadow Strike applied. First blood to no one and PVISION. So at first, getting some help with the creep was Malrine, but now the Monkey King on the other side will even things out.
Something I was curious to see in this series in particular going into today was how Falcons were going to approach the first phase, because in my opinion, PVISION are not holding their cards close to their chest with how they draft in phase 1. It's always this Monkey King or this Slark. You banned one but gave away the other. I was wondering if they were going to ban both and try to take some different trade, but so far 9 class on this Monkey King with a ridiculous win rate gets to play it again. And you're seeing why with that first blood mid.
Well, depending on how this game goes, maybe you'll get your wish in game 2. Obviously very early on, but when you think of 9 class, you think of easily the most annoying position 4 in Dota today. He just plays weird. I mean, not that Monkey King 4 is that weird, but the Slark he's brought into the fray as a support, much to everybody's chagrin in terms of pubs. That's always terrible, it feels like.
In a way, he actually reminds me, this is a pretty long throwback, but he reminds me of a developed maybe next time. If you remember how he was playing like Ricky and Bounty Hunter and just roaming around the map, killing couriers just like this, ganking mid, you know, just all over the place. That style seems to work very well for him right now. And I was wondering, nobody seems to really be copying him either. We're seeing no teams in this tournament really try to run a force Lark except him. In previous tournaments, some teams tried without as much success, so maybe it just is one of those true specialty heroes that require a lot of practice or just, you know, instinct.
Yeah, it feels like to be a support Slark, you have to be a true degenerate, which most of us feel like we are, but maybe not on the same level as 9 class.
Yeah, there's always someone who's more degen than you, as the saying goes.
Yeah, that is definitely a saying. 9 class gonna spot Snake. Snake spots him as well, but the Tango out.
Yeah, you can tell Snaking running with the Quelling Blade Chen, just trying to cut away trees from the MK to work with. Not a common sight. On support, you more or less exclusively buy this item against Nature's Prophet because of the Sprout, but this is the one other hero that it does have some merit against. 9 class on another scouting mission. And, well, he might just get another courier kill here. Nope, he went the wrong way. I say wrong.
Well,
could be a dive potential here. We're getting 6 now on No One's Queen of Pain. This is a great moment of opportunity if you could find the connection.
Now, let's see how patient he wants to be. You're right. Sonic Wave at the ready as Malrine getting pretty close to having the Echo. We have to pay attention if they're going to start stacking these the triangle creeps. So far, the big camp is blocked, so that's not going to happen as Crit will run into Dakalis, and here's the Monkey King from above. Looks like another kill going the way of PVISION. So 2-0 start. And they're going to make sure that there aren't any ancient stacks as 9 class just all over the place, which means that bottom lane kind of just left alone for DM, who we've talked about so many times before, one of the best Enigma players in the game.
It seems like a big part of the equation for this PVISION team when they're running the Monkey King is help bottom for a couple of waves and then make sure whatever hero DM is playing can be independent for a while. Enigma, a good one for that. You get level 3. If the lane is terrible, you can always jungle and maybe pull the waves with an Eidolon if you're clutch with it. And I think overall, PVISION probably quite happy with the start here. But as we say that, you look across the chorus, everybody's got pretty good last hits on the side of Falcons. So don't think they have any reason to be too concerned. Oh, Crit, a little bit of a misstep there. Might actually fail the stack. He stopped his attack animation.
Ooh,
Yep,
yeah, that's unfortunate.
Narrowly failed, not blocked, but now he might come to the conclusion that it is blocked and waste a sentry too, perhaps, if he thought he was on time there. But yeah, a little bit of a mess up.
Well, wisdom shrines for both sides, so no stealing shenanigans this time around.
Oh, this looks like a kind of juicy echo.
Yeah. Actually, Monkey King gets a little bit of damage as applied to that as well, half HP.
He was next to the creeps and he just dies.
He's just an innocent bystander, you know, no big deal, just looking from above. Snake King will now be taking some experience in the mid lane while this is happening. He's going to take a Shadow Strike for his troubles, though, as no one has the Sonic Wave, but doesn't want to use it. Not quite enough damage.
Yeah, there was a Healing Lotus on Snake King. I think otherwise no one might have gone for that one, but just enough healing in the tank. And I gotta say, relatively unsurprising, a quite slow start. These two teams are not generally all that explosive in the super early game, but they like to ramp it up when they get their first major items on all three of their cores. Gonna take a while for Amar. He's going for the Phase Boots double bracer, so it will be some time before he gets there. And in classic Amar fashion, has of course queued up the Hand of Midas.
At least on Doom, it's kind of normal.
Yeah.
Just sell that bad boy later. One of the more interesting facets in the game for sure. 9 class, shadowing. No one is there with the shield rune. Crit, nice cookie into the tier 2, will survive. Creates a little bit of space, but a lot of rotation from PVISION. Ducalis makes his way over as well. You want to talk a bit about him in just a bit as Amar completely out of mana. Now TP from said Ducalis comes into play. Just needs to get into range as no one joining the party as well, but Amar just simply walking away. Although Satanic, is he going to continue? No.
That is very... honestly, just a pretty poor rotation from PVISION there. They don't have anything to connect on the Doom with. They're obviously hoping to land a Fortune's End and then follow through. But Satanic could not stick on top of the Doom specifically because Amar has the Ice Armor creeps. This is counteracting. The slow of Anti-Mage does not slow him down enough comparatively, so he can still run away with Phase Boots. And of course, the Cobalt Cup. This will fail. Still, PVISION sporting a 1k lead, which effectively means, in the grand scheme of things, nothing has changed since the runes at the beginning of the game.
It's okay. Things will ramp up eventually. I mean, these teams late game are absolute beasts. 9 class runs right into Snake King, but an entire army of Zoo creeps greet him on the high ground. He will be able to walk away safely, though, because he is a monkey after all. That's also an animal, in case you're wondering, Cinder. So talk to me about the Oracle as we see a massive Troll Summoner push. This is a lot of rally damage applied to this tier 1, but this Echo Slam could be insane if he gets close to DM, perhaps. Doesn't have the blink yet. He will use the Echo to clear out the creeps. That must have felt incredible.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, would you
back to farming.
would you have thought the first 2 echoes go on creeps, and he still doesn't have blink?
That's true.
He's not quite there yet. But honestly, can you blame him? I think this is a good echo. You just need to keep stalling out this push. You know you're going to eventually lose this tower.
Yeah.
Falcons are just playing the waiting game. They have a very greedy lineup to start. And they know that what's going to allow them to get across the finish line is to hold the towers as long as possible. Hand of God for Skitter.
Yeah, you can try to stay alive as that ult activated. Trying to apply all the pressure to DM right now. Balance strike from below the 9 class. There's the first Doom of the game. It's going to be applied to the Enigma, but Skeeter dies first, and now Amar has to run away with no mana whatsoever. Are they going to continue to chase, though? And Amar attempting to get out. Centaur Stomp does hit. Very nicely timed. Amar looks like he's going to end up dropping. So that ends up being a 2-for-1 in favor of PVISION. Looks like DM did get picked off there. This is a lot of pressure now to the tier 1, though. A lot of space.
First black hole of the game goes on Troll. In the meantime, you're also split pushing top. And you're forcing that response from Falcons. Just immense pressure from these helms right now. Enigma helm, the Anti-Mage helm, and now Monkey King soon will also have a helm.
Seeing some stacks in the triangle for Mallory, and obviously no Echo for 40, but like you said, the Blink Dagger. We'll see if they opt for a smoke around that timing of the cooldown. While we have some time with more Zoo creeps in the mid lane. You want to talk about Ducalis and the Oracle pick, because not the most common save type hero we've been seeing in this tournament.
They picked it as a response to, what did they see? They saw Snap Shaker, I think, at the time. So maybe just that overwhelming magic damage, just wanted the the Fate's Edict against it to cover. And of course, in response, Falcons did grab the Doom, which will counteract the healing. But yeah, you're right. It's cool to see. I've always liked this hero. I think it's very high skill and has a lot of cool skill expression. Maybe a little bit less so than the old version where 2 of the spells were more polarizing, like Fate's Edict was disarming your teammate while giving him immunity, etc. But still a lot of play, and one of the heroes at a pro level that requires the most precise formation. If you're caught out even slightly, your hero can go from a lot of high save impact to having absolutely none.
Yeah.
Very important that he does not get caught by, say, a Shaker this game or get doomed. I think dooming Oracle can absolutely be worth it. Oh, in some cases.
Malrine finds one. He has the Echo if they need it, but there's so many stuns to work with. 9 class will be picked off without it. That is second kill now for Falcons. That is the Blink reveal. Still Echo Slam, though, at the ready, of course.
Yeah. And while all of this is happening, Satanic just having a completely free game on that anti-mage. Picked it as a response to the Doom, one of the harder heroes to Doom, of course, with the Reflect, and you're going to naturally buy Manta. You could even buy additional protection later in the game if you need to. And with this early start for Satanic with the early Dom, he's now going for that Battle Fury. Imagine he will have in about 3 minutes. That'll be a very respectable timing. Usually a 16-minute Battle Fury for AM is very slow, but you add a Helm in there and it's very good.
Well, Skeeter has a respectable time of 14 minutes. It's more respectable because he did not go Helm, because as AUI said yesterday, his team is very low skill and cannot control creeps.
Yeah, you too can make top 3 at TI if you feel low skill. Clearly Falcons are proof of that according to their coach.
Yep. The only one to be able to micro is Snake King, but I think Helm of Dom generally won't make sense on his heroes. Maybe one day we can aspire
Just more
to
creeps for Chen, why not?
Yeah, true. Might is pretty close for Amar, as the Battle Fury, like we talked about, onto Skeeter is online, so we'll be looking for that second item to be able to start fighting in all likelihood. I mean, do you want to go BKB super fast this game, or does it feel a little bit underwhelming? You do have the Black Hole, Sonic Wave, a lot of ways to get through it.
He is queuing it up. I kind of like Sanjan Yasha here. As you said, what are you really countering?
Oh, Satanic, he actually blinks right into this. Malrine has everything at the ready. Amar as well. Mortimer's Kisses, there's the Echo Slam. Down goes Satanic. Wrong place, wrong time. They continue to have Doom ultimate at the ready as well.
The biggest kill of the game, and like you said, they don't have to expend Doom, so he can't even feel safe when he comes back that he can just free farm for a while. With Echo on cooldown, you're still not out of the woods if Amar finds you at an opportune moment from the high ground. They're going to try to turn this into some tower pressure up top, but PVISION are in pretty good position with some of their heroes. And now Amar on the receiving end, perhaps.
Yep, DM shows up to the party. They're going to get rooted now. Nice fissure. Going to block off DM, but they have so many stuns, so many slows to work with. Amar does die. 30 seconds in the base now. Looks like that's going to break things up overall.
Who do you think has more Doms between 3 heroes with Dom or Chen? I think this is a philosophical question.
Yeah, that's a great question overall.
Chen has 4 creeps, but they're not as strong. He has 1 more. And he is in control of all of them himself.
That's true. And he can get Shard to get Ancient, so they become even more powerful.
Midas. A rare sight these days, because everybody who usually buys Midas buys Helm.
It's true. 9 class, hounding crit. Wukong's command is there. No one with the blink. This will be an easy pickoff for PVISION. Trying to get control of this area for the eventual Tormentor, but that's in 4 minutes. Through the gate they go to maybe try to bait Satanic, although he goes into the triangle, so looking for a lowly Skeeter.
Yeah, he's going to be a tricky kill, though. They don't have much to kill him with except the Black Hole, which is part of the reason Troll is such a good pick this game. If you're going to try to rotate on him, you may need to probably bring 3 or 4 heroes to make it happen, unless Black Hole is one of the abilities. And even then, there's still Hand of God.
Gonna see the tree. At half HP is the Monkey King. Ducalis in the area, though. That's going to force Malrine back. That's still a lot of information, though. And there's the battlefield that you talked about with the helm for Satanic.
17 minutes. And that was after his death, so he would have maybe got it at like 15 and a half. Still looking very healthy.
He's going to get inside with the Echo Slam and Mortimer's Kisses. This isn't enough damage, though. Satanic getting stunned. It's going to be close. Blinks out to safety, just barely survives.
Zeus ult!
Well,
probably wouldn't have been
enough
either. Close call, but the 4 points in counterspell necessary there. If he had gone for a 4-4-2 build, he dies in that situation. That's probably what most players in his shoes would have done. But just recognizing how much of a magic damage threat there is on him.
Wow, that's quite the Roche attempt. Yeah, they lose Echo Slam. They're like, hey, let's Roche. No big deal.
Amar,
no one in the area. DM as well. They're going to try to hound him. But Amar with the Doom upon the Quap. He's in a lot of trouble now, trying to walk it up, but they're going to try to get the Roach first, as Skeeter continuing to pound into him. And there's the first black hole of the game onto the Earthshaker, but they do get the Aegis onto Skeeter. Malrine falls for this. Sonic Wave, can PVISION try to take advantage of this timing. Boundless Strike on the Snake King gets slowed as well. Looks like this is going to be the second kill for PVISION. Does cost him the Aegis, although Snake King is super tanky. Finally, the Seder Hadouken takes him out. In the end, 2 loss for Falcons, but a very surprised Roche.
Yeah, considering they had spent those abilities on AM without killing him, the confidence to go there, I kind of like it still. And it did somewhat work out. I don't really know who you want to say came out on top there, because the Shaker kill is big, and most of the time I would favor the team getting the Aegis for that 2-hero trade. It's just a matter of, can Falcons actually even use it this game? I think it's going to be difficult. You're playing against a lineup that is a really big part of why PVISION has done so well in this tournament. They're extremely good at constantly pushing out these waves, and it's not a surprise that they've run these triple helms this game. They're just going to keep the pressure up, making it that much harder to get that 5-man group up for that Aegis push with Chen. Probably going to just expire.
Yeah, we'll see. 3.5 minutes to make it worth their effort. I mean, at the same time, they are taking away from PVISION. Not that they really have the greatest Roche taking capabilities anyway.
Yeah, PVISION were not going there. That's for sure. They're not ready to take Roche at all. Now, DM rocking a pipe. So even more magic protection, of course, for the AM, but this time for the entire team as well. Falcons lineup right now. It is heavily magic dependent until the troll really gets there. Oh, that's some nice cleanup from Crit. The shard plus... It's only 2-point scatter blast. When that gets to 4, he's going to clean up these waves, no problem.
Yeah, tier 1 being pressured now by Falcons. Will PVISION try to defend? It looks like they're going to back away and concede it with this Aegis advantage on the Falcon side. Of course, this will create more opportunity for Satanic to just continue to farm that, close with that next item.
This is the bigger value of the Roche, is that you are in prime position to take this Tormentor. There's nothing PVISION can do about this. And that was the bigger reward, because I think looking to push more than this would have been tough. You can see on the map, right? You get the Tormentor, but look at mid and bottom. Like, you have to start putting out fires now. 9class spending this opportunity to get some good vision out. Mid is pushing in all the way to the tier 2, and now bot is well underway. Ducalis even getting to work with pushing as Oracle.
Yeah, classic push hero.
Yep. But they have their sights set on another tier 1 perhaps here. This could work. And maybe grab themselves an additional Wisdom Shrine. No Skitter for this play, though.
Yeah, no one's going to be spotted. Centaur does not stomp in time. Malrine, though, still in the cover of the smoke. Looks like PVISION have already backed away. This could be the 21-minute mark Wisdom Shrine play, though. There's no one.
You got it.
Inside the circle. Malrine coming in with the Echo Slam. Late Mail reflects quite a bit of it. He does take the Shrine of Wisdom, but now his TP canceled. Left all alone. Was it worth it? Malrine eventually will fall, and it'll be to 9class, of course, coming in for the last second steal.
It's a pretty rare sight, the Blink Echo TP. Didn't work that time.
And no one's super fast on the blade now, I have to say.
Bad. Skitter being pressured quite heavily here by DM, but nobody around to assist either hero.
Yeah, they'd love to be able to burn this Aegis before the timer, but like you were talking about, only about a minute left on it anyway. not gonna, in all likelihood, find a good opportunity to use it unless they force the issue pretty soon here.
I'm curious to see what Ancient Snaking is going to find with this Tormentor Shard. Now that he doesn't have to buy it, he can get them even earlier as he's working on his Vlads into Pipe. I guess the ideal ones here are the Granite Golem. You're playing with pretty high HP heroes in the Doom and the Troll and Shaker. Not exceptionally high, but Doom has a lot of HP. Then what should the second one really be? A little bit unsure about that one. So far, he's running the Prowler Aura for the lifesteal and health regen. Definitely strong.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And we do get to work on a tier 2. So I wasn't sure if Falcons were going to be able to get here. It took them 3.5 minutes. The Aegis is actually about to expire, but they do make it in time.
Radiant's middle tower.
And PVISION let them have it.
Dire's top tower is under
Skeeter will
Dire's
take it
top tower.
as the Aegis about to expire, like you said. So likely will now regroup as Satanic's net worth lead just continuing to expand here. Has the Manta to go along with the Battle Fury, and we'll be working on the Butterfly next. And now smoke for PVISION, knowing that this Aegis has expired. Of course, DM's Black Hole is going to be front and center of any team fight for PVISION, and likely the biggest concern for Falcons overall.
Of course, don't think we mentioned it, but now that 9 class has reached level 9 or higher, the 5 points in Tree Dance is going to be hopping all over with the Simian Stride, reducing the cooldown to 0. This transforms this hero into an absolute nightmare to deal with.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Hopping around,
on
trying to
both
break
sides.
smokes. He might be. If he were to jump right now, he would break the smoke on Skitter. Staying on the ground for some reason, which is quite unusual for
Amar, he is spotted. The Vlad's now online for snaking, as this battle is likely to start soon if they can run into each other. So far, like ships in the night. DM has that Force Staff. We've seen this a couple times now.
It doesn't really feel like PVISION have any incentive to fight for the next 10 minutes. The way they've constructed their lineup, they are happy to go super late against Falcons because there's no reliable counter to the BKB Black Hole Enigma later down the line. Anti-Mage wants to get 2 or 3 more items before he really feels comfortable fighting the Troll.
Malorine gonna open it up onto the Enigma with the Mortimer Skits to follow, but he has the pipe, and now they have the TPs. Falcons now on the run. Malorine looking for a good echo, but they're not giving him one. He's just getting stun-locked on the sideline.
Oh, they get
but there's the Doom onto Satanic, looking it all by himself. The echo goes off as Satanic attempting to run away, but Amar's going to continue to have him. Now the right clicks from Skeeter are enough to take out DM in turn. The Doom, there's a false promise to save the Anti-Mage for now. And it looks like he will survive. In fact, close to full HP, so could rejoin the fight if they want. Amar forced to BKB, and now in full retreat mode as Satanic is leading the way. On the high ground, Satanic still has that Mana Void at the ready. Nice balance strike onto 2 as Falcons just scrambling to get away. But there's the big Mana Void, and Skeeter completely out of mana now. 2 dead in this fight, and 3 overall for Falcons. Make it 4 as crit tumbles. So PVISION, great response overall. And the fact that Satanic lived is kind of crazy.
It's just so clutch, right? He gets doomed, and that looks like a very promising setup for Falcons. They use the Troll ulti, but Skitter not quite close enough to fight him in melee form, so he starts fighting at range. And as they're about to get him in kill range, the Force Staff from DM, he just walks in and pushes AM to safety, gets protected by the Oracle. And as soon as that false promise goes out, the fight is lost for Falcons. You just have to try to cut your losses, but that's the thing about this Monkey King 4. How the hell do you get away?
Yep. And another potential pickoff. Snaking shows himself in his own triangle. How dare he? No one there to clean up swiftly as the Amar coming to the RTP to try to support, but no one able to blink out to safety. 9 class might be in a bit of trouble. As Amar gonna get slowed, and the balance strike comes up. That's not gonna be enough. So it's still a support for support. But it does require many TPs for Falcons to try to get some sort of a response.
This is a major upgrade on the way now for no one. Full Ags just complete. He didn't have any of the components before this, so
yeah, wow.
A massive level up. Playing against multiple melee heroes, you know these Shadow Strikes are going to land. And on the side of Falcons, you don't really have any Dispels. Troll doesn't go Ags this game, so he can't really get rid of it. That's going to be a problem. PVISION looking very comfortable, and you can start seeing the makings of Falcons getting a little bit cornered. The waves, once again, are going to be pushed more and more. And with this Battlefield, or excuse me, Butterfly and AM, yep, they have to bring 3 or 4 heroes to kill him. Even then, if Ducalis is in range behind him with the Blink Dagger, how do you kill AM this game? You have to have 5 items on Troll and have him be uncontested for a long time getting into that AM.
I'll give them a drubbing they'll not soon forget.
Yeah, Satanic going for Basher next. Into a full Abyssal, so it'll be even harder to take down with the extra HP that comes with that. And Snaking, or Skeeter rather. Looks like it will be the SNY, so the extra status resist, but does feel like he needs a +1 item on top of that to really pose a threat against Satanic. It really does feel like it's kind of up to the stun locks that the rest of the lineup have to offer, in addition to Amar's ult.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you have any choice but MKB? And the answer is probably no. He is queuing it up for now. They need his damage to kill AM. It's just such a good pick this game. And when you looked at the options available to Falcons, this might have been the best last pick they had available in the Troll. Even then, still looking tough. They're going to take no one.
Absolutely no damage taken by no one. He's going to be able to get away.
Edict on him.
Indeed. Oracle. Again, a hero we haven't been seeing too much of, but so far has worked out quite well for PVISION.
And it begs the question, do you buy Nullifier on someone on Falcons to get rid of Fate's Edict? It's like, maybe Doom could. Yeah, definitely not the ideal heroes for it.
None of the heroes feel good about purchasing that.
Yeah.
As there's now a pipe on the other side, so Snake King finally finds his. And as we already saw, Roche number 2 is up. Falcons were thinking about it, but after the last time, it cost them quite a bit, but they're going to try for it again. Will PVISION have an idea that this is occurring? Satanic on the other side of the map.
Now they will.
Yep, they will.
This is a pivotal moment for Falcons. There's no way they don't get contested here, and they have to play a
they scan out, they know.
Spectacular fight if they want to try to do this. And yeah, well, their Roshing isn't even that fast to begin with. And look at the wards on the map. Courtesy of 9 class and Ducalis, they've got really good coverage all around. Look, they're basically cornering Falcons to like 25% of the map unwarded.
No one spots Malrine. Shadow Strike applied right now. There's a BKB for DM, by the way, and I mean, to stop it, you have Doom, and that's it.
Yep.
Unless you get a Basher onto Troll, which even with that is going to be kind of hard to cancel a Black Hole.
Doesn't sound very reliable.
This feels like such a good game for DM going forward now. Even without this lead, it's going to be hard to contest. Back into the pit, Falcons. They're going to continue to get spotted, though. They have so many Helm of the Dom creeps they can always just send in here for Vision. This will never be a freebie. As Roche will now start his way to the other side of the pit. Summer vacation time for him as DM comes in with the Black Hole only on the one. The big Echo Slam on the 3 heroes from Malrine. Everybody's still super healthy though. Finally the Troll gets off the ult. Satanic gets doomed to the other side. He's been able to walk his way past the fissure though. And now there's the big throw from Roche. Enigma in a lot of trouble. Gotta get away from that big bad boy as Malrine. Onto the high ground. He's gonna be saved. The Satanic now no longer Doom, wants to fight. Skeeter no longer with the ult, and we've seen this duel before. They're going to have to try to run away. They get the stun lock onto no one, though. Stuck inside this area. He's in a lot of trouble, but there's the big mana bite from Satanic, taking out Malrine in turn. And now Falcons likely trying to run away. Snake King gets bashed up, gets destroyed. And now next on the list is Skeeter. 3 dead for Falcons as PVISION honestly relatively easily take this fight, just long and drawn out.
They don't have the damage. They're getting on top of this AM with Doom, but the follow-through is not relevant enough. You find a good Echo, it immediately gets piped off. Ducalis didn't even have to ult. They were never in enough danger that they had to cast the False Promise on the Anti-Mage or the Queen of Pain. They're just leveraging their tankiness in these fights and exploiting the fact that Falcon's lineup is so heavily reliant on Troll attacking stuff for it to die, but he's just getting kited.
This is already going to be a lane. This is a crazy timing for PVISION. This will be completely free. They get the full lane, everybody remaining with their lives. 20 seconds left on the death timer for Skeeter. And PVISION can just chill because, I mean, it's not like anybody killed Roche.
Yep.
They can just go for that now.
Oh yeah, but by the way, Enigma got tossed twice by Roche.
Oh,
and they-
twice.
and they still won the fight and
think-
without having to use any.
I'm pretty
major
sure
saves.
Roche did more damage than Falcons that
Hey,
fight.
might have.
And into the pit, Satanic goes, and this is a free one for them.
This could just be the game-ending Aegis. I have a really hard time seeing Falcons kill Satanic twice. Considering the fight that we just saw, I don't think PVISION are going to hesitate to try to end this one out. Enigma now with the Blink Dagger on the way as well for DM, so he's going to have a guaranteed Blink Black Hole. He could probably just BKB Blink Black Hole the Doom, and then just kill him. It's a little bit of a consolation prize here for the side of Falcons. They're getting the Tormentor, which will be a shard for Amar.
Radiant's
A
middle
little bit of
tower is
healing
under
for him to
attack.
stay tankier in the fight, but
Not a game changer.
doesn't really seem to be the problem. If you could kill that shard and get permanent amplified damage on Troll, perhaps that would be a good shard this game.
Yeah, make sure that's in the next patch for sure. Sacrifice your own items so your position one can get stronger. Just like the good old Dota 1 days. You buy,
Back when you were able to buy items for your teammates.
You buy Rapier for Clinks. I remember those.
Back when you could buy Aegis and it had 3 charges.
Oh yeah, the classic times.
And then it always took a slot in your inventory. You couldn't destroy it. Yep. We've come a long way since then. Since the good old days of Hans 2 Clinks. Wonder if he was German actually with that
Radiant's
nickname.
courier has been killed.
Let's get a shout out for Clinks with Divine Rapier, everybody.
Very related to the game, of course.
Satanic, 4 minutes on this Aegis. What are they going to be able to accomplish with it? With already a lane of racks, which, I mean, it's not often you see an AM on your doorstep pushing and able to get a full racks.
Also not very
Sorry,
often you
Minimar.
see him with 500 CS minute 35, but that's where we're going.
True. We have 7 Gale Guards in the game. It does feel like both sides are super tanky.
Yeah.
And like you said, Falcons just lacking damage.
Yeah, that's the primary difference here. One of these teams is not like the other. One of them has the damage. And
Maybe
the other
they
one
should
just
get
doesn't.
how do they get the damage, Cinderin?
I mean, Troll needs the MKB and then
Okay, what else?
Shaker Refresher.
Okay.
I don't see any other solution, and I don't think you're able to take a fight before that. So, at the same time, PVISION aren't necessarily in a hurry. I think they could try to end the game. They don't have to because of how good Enigma is this game.
Radiant's top
But I
tower
wouldn't
is
mind
under
seeing them at
attack.
least trying to put the Aegis to good use here and hope can prod Falcons and see if they've got what it takes. There's no reason to give them that refresher on Shaker as well as that Troll MKB if you could finish the game before they get that potential
Radiant's
play.
top tower
Yeah.
You've got to
has
feel
fallen.
so confident after these multiple fights that Satanic is just seemingly unscathed after being doomed every single time. Now he's going to find himself a little bit of an illusion rune, so it's 5 a.m. now in Germany. When he uses his Manta, of course. Sure you didn't understand that. It's fine. It's for the more sophisticated
It was a
people out there.
combination of me not understanding and not listening to you, which is a common trait between the both of us. That's why we're so good
Yep,
together.
that's every sentence, basically. Thank you for paying attention. Here comes AM.
Satanic.
Falcons
They
have
have-
to pay attention immediately. This is a fast push with the banner.
Yep.
2 minutes left on Aegis.
The creeps are coming, looking like a juicy Echo Slam potentially, but Satanic has so much resist that he's going to be tough to take down not only once, but twice. DM, Malefice, there's the Abyssal Blade from Satanic, but the cookie onto Skeeter, going to be okay for now, but the tier 3 is not going to be okay. It's already dead. No one, creating some space for Satanic, who now gets healed up by Ducalis ever so slowly. And this will be round number 2 onto this mid barracks. 1.5 minutes on this Aegis. Not sure if you can just give up this second set. You're gonna be able to try to burn this first life of Satanic. DM gets the Midnight Pulse off. Mana Void actually applied to Skeeter. He's very low on mana. We'll have to use the cookie to get away. Nineclass still on the tree line. As this barracks are still falling ever so slowly. Fortification comes out. Wukong's command not so fearsome from this support, but this is the state of affairs now for Falcons as another melee racks will fall. Amar looking for the backstab potential. Full second lane for Satanic and company with little resistance from Falcons.
He's full HP. They can just keep healing him with the Oracle. Even when Fate's Edict is on cooldown, the damage from Purifying Flames on AM is so insignificant, so it's a much, much bigger heal on him than any other hero. Just spam him back up to nice and healthy, and Round number 2.
40 seconds on the Aegis. Amar wants to get aggressive, running around extremely fast. Satanic wants to try to get him. Balance Strike's not going to hit Satanic. Looking for the Blink Abyssal potential, but no. We'll blink out safely. 30 seconds on Aegis. Falcons can try to wait. Maybe they can get this Wombo combo onto the AM.
20 seconds.
Big if. 20 seconds now. Onto the high ground. Attempt number 3 onto this base of Falcons. Boundless Strike going to slow things down. Satanic will be able to get to tier 3. 10 seconds on Aegis. Will blink out. They will likely soft reset, if not full. And it feels like Falcons almost have to try to smoke and go for something, but it would be kind of an obvious play as these creeps continue to just enter their base.
You've been struggling against PVISION pushing with 3 Doms all game and having heroes off the map nonstop with the AM split push, the Monkey King cutting waves, the Queen of Pain. Well, try with 2 lanes as well. Make matters all that much worse. There's nothing really to write home about in this game for Falcons. It feels a little bit like, unless they pull off a miraculous comeback, this is one of those games that can be a little bit demoralizing. Like, you just never strung together anything.
Yeah.
Every time you tried to make a move, the enemy team was too tanky and outplayed you and outnavigated you. They had your number all game with Vision. Yeah, this game has not been close.
They got the early kill on Satanic, and you thought there'd be something there for the future, but his farm has just been out of control as Amar. He's going to be able to get the Doom off onto 9 class. Again, support Monkey King and attempting to run away. And Satanic is going to force the entirety of Falcons back just on his lonesome. See the Monkey King getting very low, and the False Promise will help him survive.
Not going to heal him to full nice and easy, but that is, of course, now False Promise down. However...
Have they needed it?
However, you don't have Doom. So
yeah,
that's a good trade for the side of PVISION. That's the only way you kill AM, it seems like.
Now a Lincoln's on DM, so even less chance to stop this eventual black hole. But we do have a refresher.
Amar wants to come. Could be a start.
Absolutely. Get the stun lock. And DM is the bigger prize. So Mallory comes with the echo side, but the black hole comes to fruition. Boundless Strike from above from 9 classes. A huge sonic wave onto 2. They take out Skeeter. Amar attempting to nightfall away. Will do so successfully, but still 2 dead for Falcons. Buyback available for Skeeter, but you can see PVISION gonna push the envelope and force it out of them. A very aggressive blink as Satanic's going to work on the building, says Amar. Not able to provide too much resistance to no one. He'll be able to blink out with Oracle nearby. Satanic gets the range. Barracks wants to go for the killing blow onto Mallory. Midnight Pulse applied from DM. There's the right clicks from Skeeter, not doing anything at this point. Invincible from Satanic, trying to get onto his ultimate from the Troll Warlord. Staying alive just for now, but the rest of PVISION in the air. They do kill Satanic. It's going to cost Skeeter his dieback, though. Malrine dies right outside his fountain. Only 2 alive for Falcons as GGs come out. They do kill Satanic in the end, but it matters not. PVISION take game number 1.
That felt like a complete strategic victory, but not only that, PVISION also have the plays to back it up. Keza was talking about this on the panel.
¿Sí cree que quedó segundo? ¿Quién era su roster de Secret? ¿Con Pay?
Performance, durability, affordability. Only one place does it all. Harbor Freight. Tom, the only way I'm running these days is if I'm being chased.
Nuance Audio is the new invisible hearing solution built into your glasses. Hear what you see, comfortably, with open ear speakers. Nuance Audio, in tune with life.
Mandy Soba, ¿no? Todavía no se acaba. Todavía no creo. Mira, evidentemente debe caber y con eso debería ganar la pelea.
A Madara no lo joden, solo le dicen sus verdades es basura.
Punch to fight against this Oracle plus Monkey King support duo.
Like Dota is a lot about like there's mid and you get offlane counter pick by Amar on the 24 pick.
You know, really formidable, but it's around 15 to 20 minutes. The correct auras, the correct positioning, and objectives should be Falcons.
And as we theory crafted, we are going to have the 9-class Centaur coming out from support. What can we expect from something like that?
5 seconds.
Just wave
remaining.
shenanigans, an early blink setup for your team, a body for this Enigma. Like, it's an easy stunt to have too, and the Stampede is a very
Then they're going to get picked apart.
Any final thoughts, Kazu?
I mean, if this game goes late, DM Enigma with Satanic TV will take over the game, but I'm hoping for Falcons and I believe in their heroes, and they just won't let it get there. They're going to close it out 38 minutes.
38, that's very specific. Well, let's see what's going to happen. I know there's a lot of people hoping for a third game coming out here, and one of those people is on stage is, of course, Coach AUI 2000, who's with Slacks.
Absolutely, we're here with AUI 2000 from Team Falcons. Absolute pleasure to see you here on the stage yet again, sir. Now, your team is very used to being extremely difficult to draft against. A lot of heroes to ban, a lot of great players. But in this case, PVISION also pretty difficult to draft against. I mean, how do you draft against 9-class? As a team that's extremely used to people having issues drafting bans, do you feel like you have an advantage here?
Like in this game's draft?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
No, I think we're pretty happy with our draft. Honestly, game one, I think the game didn't look that good, but I think a lot of it was we just gave them 4 bounce runes, so it's hard to like draw conclusions after games like that. So hopefully this one's better.
Absolutely, you heard it here from TI winner. Once you lose 4 bounty runes, it's cooked. There's nothing you can do. Absolutely over. Okay, we got some iconic heroes though. The crit, Hoodwink, can't get better. But then you also have some other iconic heroes, DMs, Enigma, pretty scary stuff. Why'd you guys decide to let that one through?
I mean, as you said, like they have a lot of heroes. You have DM, who has some like Phoenix Enigma. No one has some like Puck, Invoker, Queen. Like there's just a lot of heroes who ban versus this team and versus us, I guess. So you got to pick what you play against, and we want to play versus Enigma.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're getting into that first game, or second game, excuse me, here today. I have to ask this question to you, sir. Will you be going to the grand finals? Will we see a game 3?
I hope so.
You hope so? Tell me you fucking know so. Look at that camera and tell me you know so!
I know so.
I know so! Let's get into it.
First blood already! No one takes out crit. AUI seem to be horribly wrong. He's very not confident in that answer as well. My goodness. But yeah, we have quite the draft here from both sides as game 2 is now upon us. PVISION 1 game away from making the grand finals. Will the nerves kick in?
Well, if AUI thought a big part of the last game's problem was that they lost 4 bounty runes, well, let's switch it up for first blood and 3 bounty runes. I don't know if that's really an improvement over the previous experience.
Yeah.
Well, the ultimate result of this should once again be that no one will be pretty happy in the mid lane. This time, no Satyr to bother him, at least for now. And he will be playing the Beastmaster against Pangolier. A pretty easy matchup for Beastmaster in the first few levels. Then when Pango starts being able to kill boars, this could get a little more interesting. But I think this early start should be good for him.
This is the real story of the game, of course. They banned his Monkey King. They banned his Slark. What will he pick? It's a half horse, half man. Amazing Centaur is picked for 9 class.
And of course, now that we're 1 minute 27 seconds into the game, it's time to start thinking about the cart. And what that's going to do for this game.
I've never seen him play Centaur, so I don't know if he's a cart enjoyer, you know? What can you do? He's gonna...
And also, how is he going to climb trees as Centaur? That is another question that remains to be... We need to find an answer for.
The old Stampede, you could traverse through terrain, but no more. Now you're just a slow horse. Of course, he has that facet, so he doesn't really need boots. We're not seeing the Counter-Strike facet ever taken.
No.
Which is really sad. There's no one in that mid lane. 8-4 right now versus the 8-1 on Malrine, so relatively even to start things out.
Yeah, both players will be farming here. I think perhaps no one has a slight advantage in terms of the potential for a gank from Snapfire or Centaur when he hits level 6. But conversely, I suppose Hoodwink could make a similar move, but maybe a little bit more dangerous to leave the Underlord alone against Snap Terrorblade. It's quite a strong lane, a lot of damage, and a lot of it from far away. Underlord likes when heroes are up close and personal and you can trade back, but the TB and the Snap have the upper hand there for sure.
Yeah, well, we're looking at 3 Helm of the Dominator purchases for PVISION. The mid laner on the Beastmaster for no one, DM's Enigma, and the support Centaur will also be going Helm of Dom.
I think there is a world where no one doesn't buy it. I would say the mid beasts have been, out of the traditional Helm buyers, mid Beastmaster probably has the lowest frequency.
Just into the Ags, I suppose?
Yeah, you just Ags rush with treads, and if you go the Dom first, perhaps your ramp up in the mid game is a little bit too slow for what you want to accomplish. It's also a big part of the justification for Helm of the Dominator on a lot of the heroes is the farming speed, but Aghanims is just faster. You farm exceptionally quickly when you get this item on Beast. You can find kills that are otherwise impossible. The Dominator doesn't match.
Satanic playing the Terrorblade this game. This was a very common carry from 6 months ago. It's kind of dropped off for whatever reason, but he is one of the best in the world at this, of course, going against Amar's Underlord. I mean, does Falcons have enough to contest against the likes of TB?
That's why this pick is so good, in my opinion. Hang on, we'll see if he dies first. Then we can talk about why it's good after.
How strong is Cinderan's Curse? Not strong enough, it seems.
All right.
Satanic will secure some last hits under the tower.
So looking at the big picture in this game, what I really like about the Terrorblade pick in this is you're playing against Dragon Knight, who's going to go green facet, so all the physical damage, you have a lot of armor. You're playing against Pango, who's all physical.
Oh,
you're almost dead.
Lotus
and
applies. Satanic dies under the tier 1 to Amar. Cinderan's Curse is just delayed like his brain, but in the end, very strong indeed. It's 9 class securing a bounty room for himself. I mean, like, theoretically, they have the percentage-based damage against them. Breathe Fire reduces base damage, which is really good against Terrorblade, but like in terms of damage itself, it's mostly physical, like you said, which the armor is really going to help with.
It is somewhat double-edged, but it's a matchup that Terrorblade has always enjoyed, the one against Dragon Knight. You outrange him in Metamorphosis form, you're going to buy the right items, you have inherently exceptionally high armor, and Dragon Knight will struggle to deal with that with the green facet. Pango's all physical. Underlord, yes, it's nice to have the auras against TB, but at the same time, the value of Firestorm against that hero also isn't the absolute best. He doesn't have as much HP as certain other carries. But it was crucial for Falcons to at least get on the board in this lane. Not something I would have expected, to be honest. Underlord Hoodwink, not necessarily a killer lane against these two, but they made it work.
Mid lane's still pretty close. As we're getting close to that 6-minute power rune, we'll see if the supports end up coming about. As you can see, 9 class on that Centaur. Close by, Snake King getting some vision ahead of time. 9 class still level 2, has the Hook Stomp double edge. It's Malrine already using the Swashbuckle. We'll see if they force the issue. No one with the Primal Roar available. Shield Crash used as well. As bottom looks like Amar's the one in trouble. Satanic has the Metamorphosis activated, and this is 3 members of PVISION gonna bring Amar down. No one gets off the roar just in time, but there's not gonna be any backup to try to go on top of Malrine. Instead, the Rolling Thunder will be completely free to rain right on top of no one's corpse.
He will also get the rune as an added benefit. This was a really nice timed rotation from the side of Falcons. I don't think I'm so free though with Amar dying, but probably happy to get the rune and get their Pango on the board first here. Considering, in spite of that kill, no one is still 500 ahead of the Pango. Kind of crazy when you think about it. 19 denies on the Beastmaster as well, putting on a clinic in the mid lane. Now the invasion.
Yeah, this is pretty important. 9 class really needs these levels. No one comes in, takes most of the creeps with the wild axes. Snake King taking over a boar for some extra vision here. And this is a 7-minute move.
And get this wisdom. This will be a level 3 Centaur minute 7.
Yes, he is hurting big time. 5 seconds
try.
Come Snake King onto the high ground. Will get the vision needed. 9 class absolutely cannot stand here. He's going to get bushwhacked. Gets off the hoof stomp, but dies shortly after. So Snake King takes the shrine, and Amar gets the other. So something the Falcons desperately need as they try to stay alive in this series.
This is one of those big differences. We're probably going to be talking about it more as this game progresses. Having 9 class off of those slippery heroes and onto a Centaur opens up new avenues for Falcons that they didn't have in the previous game, and that other teams haven't really found versus PVISION in previous series either. He's always been slippery and hard to deal with.
Yep, we got the hoof stomp with the help from the Cookie. Little Shredder doing some work as well. Amar trying to get away, but the blocks are too strong. But the TPs are coming for Falcons. It looks like this will break things up as Amar gets away with just a little bit of HP.
Mission
They
failed.
do spot it, so it's up. Wasting a TP in the end.
Dragon form popped up top. This is a very strong timing for any Dragon Knight carry lineup. Level 6 together with Chen, a classic pairing of heroes. We've seen this for 15 years.
Roar from no one. Arcane rune taken afterwards as crit slowed to a high degree, and he will be getting away with the scurry.
This tower's gone up top. No surprises there.
Indeed.
Much better start for Falcons to this game than the previous one. Still, the writing on the wall is more than likely, should this game go the distance, then PVISION's lineup with Enigma, Terrorblade, and Beastmaster insane in the late game. And you don't have solutions once again for the BKB Black Holes. Like, the best tool you'll have is a Pango Basher and then hope for the best, but you don't really want to get there if you can avoid it. Of course, Kezu did predict a 38-minute victory for Falcons.
Yeah, very specific.
Naive as always, and questionable takes, but we'll let him.
Hey, he's on home turf right now, so got to give him the benefit of the doubt. As no one is working on the Ags that you were talking about.
Can we get some cheers for Kezu?
Oh. Not bad, not bad.
Can we get some cheers for Bratwurst? All right, I think that was surprisingly close. I
you guys not like food? Food
I thought that was going to be way more lopsided than that. Maybe they felt a little bit bad, but they really wanted to cheer louder for that.
Maybe they're full from that last series.
Enough. Nah, I'm good.
Early 1K lead for the Falcons side. DM now level 6 in that black hole. And Skeeter. Blink Dagger is going to be the first item for him, and it's actually really close. Looks like they want to really push the envelope to get ultra aggressive to start this game.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see when Falcons truly kick it into gear here. With this early defusal and Chen working on drum, perhaps that is when you're trying to collapse. You're also 100 gold away from DK's Blink. Classic build here from Skitter on the carry DK, even in phases when other teams were playing carry Dragon Knight more greedy with an early farming item. Skitter was generally leaning on this dagger and trying to take map control, and it really plays into the overall read that we have on Falcons as a team, which is they utilize Skitter a lot more aggressively rather than as a true position 1 in many of their games. However, in this one, maybe DK has to get really big. I'm not sure if Pango and Underlord can really output enough down the stretch.
Yeah, I have to say, the Underlord, I mean, not that this is an Underlord carry, but it is Amar playing the Underlord, so it feels like it will end up being an Underlord carry. It has been a bit underwhelming, but they will get that tier 1 tower. And this is the Blink Dagger reveal for Skeeter, right on top of DM. Sharpshooter from Crit is coming. And that is a lot of damage to withstand. DM will take a tumble as a result. And a god to be able to try to keep himself alive, Snake King, but the kisses are too strong. So some sort of a trade for PVISION, but definitely favoring Falcons this time around.
Yep, another tower and a core for support trade.
Diffusal online for Malrine as well, so...
Yep. If only someone had told you that 2 minutes ago when it was even more impressive.
I mentioned the Blink Dagger, you didn't listen as well, so that is tied.
All right, it's a draw for now.
Keep it up.
I think you're just...
I didn't want to say anything because it's the upper bracket finals of TI, and it seemed kind of dumb to bring it up in the middle of something so prestigious.
Kind of weird that you did that, actually.
Yeah.
Here they come into smoke.
Smoke.
Looking for the wrap.
Malrine.
They'll find it.
Now, Dragon Tail, this is a big pickoff if they can get it. And the cookie's not going to be enough as Malrine just completely destroys him. And now the tier 1 tower to follow. So that is 3 tier 1s already dead at the 12-minute mark. Falcons looking good.
Yeah, they're going to keep this pace up. This is what they need to do with their lineup. A strategy that they're very familiar with playing. So it should just be full-on autopilot almost. Not as in PVISION can't respond, but rather Falcons know what to do. PVISION have to come up with the solutions. 9 class found again. Level 5 just cracked, minute 12.
Yeah,
This is a totally different 9 class than in the last many games we've seen. For comparison, both supports on Falcon's side sitting on level 7. So he is not offering much. Far away from that helm, far away from Stampede. A little bit of a dead hero in the game right now, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
PVISION are almost playing 4v5.
But once he gets that cart.
Yeah, let's look ahead at that. I'll tell you this. If 9 class gets cart, they're going to win. Because that means the game went long enough that they didn't need it anyway.
Very true.
13 minutes, 3K lead.
I mean, even if Falcons end up losing this game, this is something that other teams will be looking at. Be able to ban both the Slark and the Monkey King as Satanic. Bushwhacked him, but you can see the TP's coming for PVISION. Sharpshooter does a lot of damage, but it's not quite enough. Sunder onto his own illusion to stay alive. With a rolling thunder, Malrine is there with the rest of Falcons nearby to finish the job. They get Ducalis as well as Satanic. Big kills as 9 class is basically a creep at this stage. 4K lead for Falcons.
Uh-oh. Well, Kezu with the 38-minute prediction, maybe very conservative. I feel like this could just be a 25-minute. Let's hold our horses. This is definitely looking great for Falcons, though. I've found that in this tournament, a lot of the time it's very difficult to predict game length. Even based on, let's say you take a snapshot now and you're like, okay, you would probably have an idea about 6 months ago with where this game is oftentimes headed, and then you get surprised time and time again. But without question, this is about as good of a start as Falcons could have hoped for. They're also going to get both Wisdoms perhaps here. If they get both, this is so bad for Centaur. He's going to stay level 5.
Oh my god.
He's about to get 6 from 1 creep, but we're talking minute 14.
Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. Do not pick Centaur support in your pubs. Holy jeez. There it is. Stampede finally available for the horse. As the cheer, the crowd goes wild for that.
2 people happy about that. Good for you guys. Let's see him put it to good use.
I mean, is this the latest level 6 in the tournament, potentially?
I don't think so, but it might be the latest on a position 4. I think it's the latest we've cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes 5s just have a terrible game where they get run over in lane and they don't really recover.
I mean, he's position 7 in this game, it feels like, so far. We'll see if he can catch up, though.
Wow, not even 6.
No, we skipped a level there.
Okay.
He's still going for the Helm of the Dominator. I mean, that certainly is a way to get...
What are you going to do when you have Crown and Helm of Iron Will? You're going to change your build?
Yeah, true. He's already committed quite a while
committed
ago.
At this point. Although it would be cool to see him say screw it and go armlet. That would be, honestly, that would be one of the least surprising players to do it with a 9 class.
Yeah, if only he was playing the Terrorblade in this case.
Yeah, he's going to get jumped by Skitter.
Yes, he will. Waiting for the Stampede, but the Dragon Tail comes first. 9 class. He will be in the Stampede. They're going to try to turn this right around with the Black Hole available, but the Fiend's Gate comes out. Mortimer's Kisses with the Black Hole right on top. They get the DK. Looks like they will find 9 class in the end, but at what cost exactly? DM's going to get the cookie to stay away. He'll be perfectly safe, so the position 7 Centaur taken out in replacement for the position 1 Dragon Knight.
That did force both Black Hole and Stampede and Roar, though.
Yeah,
so
that
a
means
lot of
Falcons.
opportunity. Nice Midnight Pulse instantly there from DM to stop the Bushwhack. Nice little detail. Enigma obviously having that reliable counterplay to Hoodwink. And if nothing else for the side of PVISION, aside from the trade itself, Satanic gets a little bit of breathing room. But this is going to cost them. Here comes the Zoo.
Yeah, no Black Hole, no Mortimers. That means Roche for free for Falcons. I mean, how do they scale into the late game if PVISION is able to somehow defend, like from the Falcons' perspective? Because this is obviously a very good early game lineup.
I mean, Pango can be deceptive and can be a true late game powerhouse. The problem is just his matchups, right? It's not that their lineup in itself can't play late game well, but you're playing into Roar, you're playing into Black Hole, and you're playing into a hard-hitting ranged carry. So 3 things that are generally tough for Pango, and I mean, it shouldn't come as a surprise. You first face this hero, of course, it's going to get counterpicked at this level. But once again, Falcons' goal, if you ask them before the game when they want, how long they want this game to be, it's probably around the 40-minute mark that they're hoping to win. For PVISION, they'll probably just tell you the longer the better.
Are fortified.
Dom now up for 9 class. Let's see him find a creep.
Will it be a Centaur? Ooh, ooh. That's an ogre. That is a satyr. Okay.
Under attack.
Not what we were hoping for, of course.
This is probably the most pitiful farming speed you've seen from 9 class. He's standing there, killing a satyr Mindstealer. It took him about 15 seconds to kill a medium creep without retaliate.
And Dekal, going to be found by Malrine. Completely drained of mana and an easy pickoff as a result. Aghanim Scepter not too far away from Malrine. It's going to be an extremely good timing as Skeeter applying pressure to the tier 2 bot. This looks like another free objective for Falcons.
And the big fundamental difference between game number 1 and this one is that this time around, PVISION are unable to force Falcons to defend. That's the number 1 biggest difference. Sure, you could also say they won the lanes, but all these things are compounding where PVISION have games where the lanes don't go perfectly, they get their doms and they stall. This time, not happening. Because they only had the Enigma one for so long, and it's not enough against Chen's army and all the clear that Falcons have. So now they are the ones forcing you back, and PVISION a lot less comfortable in that playstyle, and they don't have their 9 class scouts to give them moments of opportunity. No slippery ward placing hero, no invisible hero, nothing like that.
Oh, Rolling Thunder finds another target. Bushwhack right on top. Fiend's Gate is close by. No one does get off the Primal Roar there, and there's the Stampede from the Centaur. As now the Metamorphosis pop by Satanic. Can they try to turn this around? A big reflection comes out. Malrine and company looks like they're going to back away for the time being.
Is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
That is still a big cooldown. Expended. As 9 class spotted. DM is nearby, and Skeeter won't pursue any further.
Yeah, not quite enough for that Orchid, but an interesting pickup nonetheless. Probably the dream scenario for him is finding Enigma and getting the silence off, or of course the Terrorblade post Manta. Not going to be the easiest, but still. Another tempo item, if you will, right? Going Blink Orchid on DK, you can't really play much faster than that. It's telling a clear story about what Falcons are trying to do, whereas PVISION just, once again, buying that time.
Yeah,
Enigma Itemization also playing into that with the early Crimson.
It was quite a good delay from PVISION, cutting out some of the time of this Aegis is now they scan out, but the TP looks to be successful. Malrine, no Basher. Only 200 away from that Ags. And only 2 minutes left on the Aegis. I mean, when they picked up this Aegis, how many buildings do you think that they were expecting to take?
I think they were hoping to take at least 2 tier 2s. But
still in the realm of possibility. The 20-minute mark is close as well, so we'll likely use this advantage to be able to take the Tormentor.
And they would love to get the Chen one in this game. You just want stronger and bigger creeps. The Hoodwink already bought her own, so it's between the Chen. I guess Pango is also okay, but once again, not the most obvious value game, given that there's 2 BKB piercing abilities.
Yeah. 9 class has to use the Stampede, but he gets Dragon-tailed. Cookie to follow. And the Orchid used from Skeeter, attempting the TP. Bushwhack will connect. This will be the death of the Centaur. And you can see on the Tormentor side, Amar will be going to town. And it will be snaking, so Ancients at his disposal.
The Ripper's Lash on Chen with 12 skeletons is just something else.
Yeah. And looks like they will get that second tier 2 as the Aegis 40 seconds away.
DM thinking about this wisdom. Let's see if Amar calls the bluff here. I think he's a little bit uncertain about whether he can get away with it, but okay, well, with DM TPing out, this plays itself. We're going to have the 1-for-1 trade.
You'd say that. Yeah, you were correct. Good job.
I do indeed say that. Thank you for listening.
Well, 9 class going for a Blink Dagger next, so actually not anything too crazy. I was expecting some big switch-ups here from the position 4 Centaur. Still obviously a ways away. I mean, he went for a full hoof stomp double edge build, so his farm is completely dependent on just double edging creeps and using the Helm of the Dom.
I mean, there is surely no other build this game than Blink Axe, right? No joke. What else are you really buying here? Your Enigma is buying the auras that you need. Your job is to try to save people that get dragon-tailed. Most likely later in the game. Be there for your Terrorblade, drive him into the fight, and let him attack freely. However, when you're playing support Centaur and you go Ags, you don't have those tankiness items. So when you run in on it as a workhorse, you might just get killed almost instantly. So that's a little bit tricky. I do think it is the path that he is bound to take. Can also drive in the Enigma for a nice black hole.
Oh yeah,
that's fun. But right now, I think the Axe is a complete pipe dream. He's 5,000 gold away from having that and Dagger, which means he would have to almost triple his net worth.
Almost there.
So yeah, give him another 30 minutes. Might be there. And what's shaping up to be another one-sided affair, but this time the complete flip from game 1. Falcons have definitely figured something out about PVISION's playstyle in that first game. And should this go to a game 3, that's when it would get really interesting if PVISION can bring something new to the table and counter the counter.
That's right. Pick an even weirder position 4. That's the goal if we get to that point.
Spectre 4.
Hell yeah.
For 9 class.
Let's hear it for Spectre, everybody.
We're cheering for the most random thing.
Skeeter blinks to the high ground, gets roared for his trouble, but you can see the Fiend's Gate of Amar on the way, so this will be the death of Ducalis at the very least. And no one already exiting the premises. Did require a few TPs from Falcons, but they secure the kill.
Yeah. PVISION just, I was going to say they seem a little lost, but they really don't. They're just it's very deliberate the way in which they're playing the map. It's all stalling tactics, but they can't really take any initiative for the foreseeable future. And playing Dota like that at this level, it's exceptionally difficult. Like, you can try to play keep away as long as you want, but eventually you're playing against a team that has a blink stun hero, you have a global hero in the Fiend's Gate, and the Hoodwink crit in this tournament has been insane on this. They're gonna find you eventually. Or they just go high ground.
High ground onto the Helm of the Dominator, destroyed. Satanic and company are nearby to get rid of these skellies, though. I mean, that is one thing, is PVISION have very good high ground defense, and they can kill creeps extremely quickly. I mean, no one just alone could do that. Obviously wasn't even needed for that.
Yep.
As he's getting close to a Blink Dagger for himself now. And DM, about 1,200 from the BKB on the Enigma.
Yeah. You would imagine Pango. Oh, Malrine, he saw him.
Yes, he did. Crit will be coming in from the south as well. And DM, you are super dead, my friend. Quite tanky with that Crimson Guard, but okay. He's going to attempt the TP. Very ambitious indeed.
That's very optimistic. Good effort, as you like to say. But not quite enough to get out of there. And yeah, with the BKB, surely Malrine will go Basher after Blink, right? I don't think this is a game. You could consider Linken's against the Beastmaster and the Sunder, but I don't think it's necessary. I think you'd much rather play your tempo and try to dictate the fights. Having that way of stopping Black Hole be very nice and valuable, and of course...
That is a huge pickup.
Oh, yeah.
Global Root. God, what a cool axe. This thing is so sick on the Underlord. Just needs a Gleipnir, of course. That's the pub mentality. We'll not be going for that, of course. Zamar with just a ridiculous amount of Zoo Creeps nearby. Smoke from PVISION. Roche is now up.
Feels like it's been a long time since we've seen an Underlord as top net worth in a game when it's not the carry.
That's fair, yeah.
Extremely farmed. in this game. Just full space all the time.
Bar finds spots bit of malice. Satanic trying to run away, cuts down some trees as his entire zoo is chasing him. He will be able to get out for the time being. The rest of Falcons relatively close. They will likely try to take this next Roche relatively shortly. It is in the top area at the moment.
Tower is under attack.
We have another 4 minutes to be able to take it. And they are grouping up now.
And this is a great hero against PVISION's playstyle as well. When you think about how they stall their games and what they do to get to that late game, Fiend's Gate has to be one of the best abilities. You send a mega tanky hero to take out the trash in a side lane, and he can always connect to a possible team fight if needed. And now with that root, as you mentioned, it's going to be even better. Nice reaction there from No One.
Trying to bait them in, but it does feel like PVISION might just give this Aegis up potentially. DM is very far to the north, as even Kiss is being used to scout things out. As Falcons still not feeling confident to be able to take Roche.
They want to find a pick instead
against the Enigma.
Skitter's just going to run in.
As he is. Malrine, he gets Malefice to start things out, and they're going to be able to get the silence on this Enigma DM. Stampede, he is all alone right now. See if he goes for a black hole play. Probably not, as Malrine finally gets the connection. It takes such a long time. Even the Creek helping out with the Congregations of the Deep, and the Swashbuckle finishes the job. So 45 seconds, not having to worry about DM. Technically does have buyback, but at this stage of the game, unlikely to see it. And now Falcons do have to worry a bit about this bot lane if you go for Roche. As he is still angry, it seems. Snaking halfway to an Aghanim Scepter, by the way. This is such a cool Ags.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
We've seen it once before in this tournament.
Yep.
Be able to channel it, be able to give magic resist. As the Aegis will go to Skeeter.
For any Warcraft 3 fans, this Ags reminds me a lot of Shadowhunter's ultimate in that game, where you yourself make all units around yourself invulnerable. It's obviously not to that level, but the concept is the same. You have this relatively fragile hero that just becomes the center of the fight. And yeah, curious to see if Snaking gets there, if that will be a very noticeable difference. But yeah, making all allied units debuff immune with 60% magic resist. Kinda crazy for 6 seconds.
Trying to cut the wave was DM, not successful. Skeeter leading the way, has the Bloodthorn now and the Aegis. Roche banner placed, and this is where PVISION have to make some serious decisions on their defense.
Nice Mantha
Mantha for Satanic. Dragontail completely dodged as the Rolling Thunder comes in right on top of Satanic with the roar used on Malrine. The Force Touch continues hit, and a double black hole with the Mortimer from above. Do they have the damage? The BKBs mitigate most of it though, and now PVISION on the retreat. Big Swashbuckle coming in from Malrine with the shield crack to follow. No one is dead, just outside his base. Satanic drops as well along with DM. That is 4 dead for PVISION. Only 2 buybacks available. A full team wipe. Falcons lose nothing. They still have Aegis for 3.5, and these buildings will absolutely melt.
It's a completely similar fashion to game 1, just for the other team. PVISION, they don't have the damage. They're getting a 2-hero black hole, they're getting the roar off, they're using Snap Ult, Terrorblade meta, and Falcons just shrug it off.
They're going to go straight for the Mega.
And they just don't care.
Likely the final fortification of the game. These creeps do not give a shit about that, though. As the buyback comes out from No One. Of course, there's no black hole once DM is back up and running. Another 100 seconds away. This is surely going to be mega creeps. And indeed, 30 minutes in the game. Falcons with megas.
Now have mega creeps.
And there it is, the Chen Ags, ready to make a big difference. After the game is basically won for the side of Falcons. Can do a little bit of a celebratory dance in the end if he wants to, as now the items just come raining in. Full Shiva's guard for Amar.
Can
almost has Lincolns.
Can PVISION hold on for 8 more minutes so Kezu can be correct? Will it happen? Big smoke though.
20 seconds.
This would be a dive back for no one. He pops the BKB, trying to retreat, gets off the Primal Roar. Looks like he's fine, although Malrine has something to say about that. There's the card from 9class. Huge plays from him using nothing. Nobody's in the cart. No one. He dies right outside of the cart. Truly unfortunate for the position 7 Centaur. 2 dead for PVISION, and now Falcons looking to end the game. Satanic calls GG, and that's going to mean Game 3 on the way.
And 9class is going to be upset with that last fight. He followed the team's instructions and said, put no one in the cart. And that's exactly what he did. Wasn't able to reach anybody. And they're laughing.
That was good, actually.
Not quite sure why they're having such a good time after. But I mean, if nothing else, you can have a little bit of a laugh at it. 9class looking at his monitor, dreaming.
But Pango is back on the menu now.
Yeah, and I mean, in game 1, they succeeded, right? They had
Gyrocopter, we talked earlier about comfort. This is one of his most comfortable heroes coming out.
Keep it simple. Shove the wave. You're against aggression. That you can still die. In the Clock Phoenix lane, if you step up a little bit too far, there is a chance you go down, and they go for the Juggernaut.
It's a very good hero versus Phoenix as well, because once you get that BKB, you pop Flak Cannon, you can kill the egg, you're also hurting the rest of the team. PVISION respond with Juggernaut, who honestly, I think, is kind of an underrated hero if picked in correct drafts. The biggest strength of this hero, in my opinion, is...
Yeah, these guys, they have to fight each other. Like, if you're just gonna run around and farm and dodge, the enemy team will take over your map, no matter who wins the lanes or not. So you have to fight back, you have to turn it into a longer game, and, well, you have to defend your ground.
It sounds like we got one good one coming for the viewers here at home, and of course in the Barclays Arena as well. Speaking of in the Barclays Arena, in the middle of it right now, Sir Axuslax with the Steenie.
Oh, I got more than a Steenie, my friend. We are here with 2 of the greatest minds in Dota 2, and one of them will be going to the grand finals after this game. Now, before we began, we talked together, and both of you agreed, 0 Helm of the Dominators this game. Now, you said you'd do it. Shake hands and promise. The first team to buy a helm, everyone will boo them. Shake hands and make do on the promise. No helms.
Promise for me.
No helms. Yes!
Making the promise.
All right, fantastic. Let's get onto it, my friend. Now, you guys, by the way, favorite team at the International, you guys absolutely dumpstered Team Falcons in the first game. Made them look like foul clowns. And you're coming out again and a very aggressive Phoenix pick into that team. How confident are you?
Every team's banning the hero for one reason, and they're gonna find their reason.
Okay, there we go. Aoi 2000, my favorite team in the world at this International, Team Falcons. You made them look like absolute clowns in game 2. But in this game, will we be seeing the same result?
I hope so.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much. Let's get that handshake. Somebody's got to go to the finals, gentlemen. Put it in. good. Let's get this game started. It's time to go to Game 3.
And Game 3 has arrived as 9 Class, playing the Clockwork this time around, finds his way in the middle of 3 enemy heroes as Falcons will be getting first blood and Malrine will be the one to secure it. That is maybe the best possible scenario for Falcons.
Yeah, it seems
who
like
gets the first blood.
Depending on your perspective between game 1 and 2, it seems like the starting conditions for Falcons have been getting better from game to game. First, they lost all bounties, then they lost 3 bounties in first blood. This time, they got 2 bounties and they got first blood.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, this time around, not starting off as a deficit is a good sign for them. I agree with what a lot of the panel talked about here. I think this is a very different game in nature to some of the previous ones we've seen. The main overlap, if I could pick one, is probably the Enchantress, even though she wasn't picked in any of the 2 prior games. It's a little bit more of that Zeus style. Chen was banned first phase here, so Snake King couldn't play it. But fortunately, he can go for his Ench, who he has one of the most ridiculous records in Dota on. It's not #1, but I think he has the 2nd longest win streak out of any player-hero combination. I believe earlier this year, his 20 win streak on Ench was broken in a game. I think it was around the 20 mark at least. Kind of incredible. So he is comfortable without a doubt. PVISION bringing something new to the table, though. This Juggernaut hasn't been played very much. They're putting 9 Class on the Clockwork now, so they were like, all right, 9 Class, now you're actually playing a normal position for this game, and he will start Boots, something he didn't do last game on the Centaur. He went for Workhorse and tried to play his way around it. With Boots, it is a lot easier to pull those waves and to navigate that offlane when you're playing at a deficit. So hopefully for him, he can find some more impact. Yeah, you'll advise to fight Snapfire, though. I don't think you're interested.
Yeah.
Getting in there.
Well, Crit will be able to play this for I believe the 2nd time this series. He played in game 1, if I'm not mistaken. His 9 Class is going to be stealing some creeps. He's going to be taking heavy damage, though, from Crit.
Oh, he lost the range creep. That's not ideal on this creep.
They're going to lose that one overall as Snake King now going to get Blade Furied upon by Satanic. We'll pop the Fairy Fire. Snake King going to continue to heal thanks to those Nature's Attendants. Amara will oversee operations.
Yep.
King does survive.
He also killed the healing ward, so nice little bonus. I believe you did say that.
I did not, but thanks for covering your bases.
I was being generous. Oh, Malrine. What seems to be the tradition of this main stage has been Sand Kings have to miss certain stuns. It's attacks we have added to the game.
Yeah, how does this matchup typically go?
I feel like Sand King can draw against any hero. If you play it like Malrine does, you're just cutting waves. If necessary, in the good matchups, you're standing in your Sandstorm. You attack the enemy hero once they're blinded. They can't really trade with you very well. And this is no different. Of course, he has a little bit of an unfair advantage from the first blood, which you know, if this is played in a vacuum, maybe Storm can pull out a slight advantage, but I don't think it should ever be more than like 60-40 on the farm. So, no one doing what he can to put that pressure.
Yep, 15-4 versus the 15-0, so no denies from Malrine, but still very, very, very close in this mid lane. Ducalis again playing the Oracle with... It looks like Satanic actually went for the Blade Storm facet. I'm not sure what the... I've seen the other one more often in the very few games that we have seen as 9 Class gets gone on by Crit and killed off in his own cogs. That is a bit unexpected, but I guess it was just a matter of time as he was continuing to steal those creeps.
Level 2 Snapfire is really hard to pull waves against. When you go to the skill build, when you go to 0-1-1, you have so much damage. The cookie is always going to connect because in order to pull the wave, you have to make them trail behind you, so you're never going to miss. It's just very easy for Crit here. Some nice bowling from 9 Class there, a little bit of mana burn coming out. Yep. But overall...
Enjoys his bowling. We'll see if he's as effective as he was game 1. Of course, playing a different hero in all 3 games now. We'll see how far Snake King can get this game. Like you talked about, not only just that winning streak, but this is a position... Well, typically it's a position 4 that will just get right-click items, like a Dragon Lance, Hurricane Pike, and then that's when they certainly start to hurt.
There's a world here where you go a lot of auras. You can go Solar Crest Pipe.
Crit, bit of trouble, but the Rocket Barrage doing massive damage from Skeeter onto both DM and 9 Class. He has to dive away. And it's something you do have to worry about if you're the PVISION side. So DM, we have not seen him on the Phoenix so far this series. We have seen a decent amount of this hero, though, as an offlaner. Has felt pretty strong. Now, You're going against the little shredder of crit, but it does feel like as the cookie is going to hit with the Rocket Barrage to follow. DM has no dive. This is a kill going the way of Skeeter. Nothing 9 class can do here. But it does feel like these Phoenixes get enough levels as a core that the little shredder only has slight impact in the game.
It's very much contextual. I think in this game, between Little Shredder and Gyro with BKB, you definitely have tools of taking down the egg. I was wondering what DM was going to do with that helm because he was waiting on his quick buy, but he does commit to the helm of the Dominator instead of potentially going Veil. Yeah, not too surprising.
Promise broken, it seems, yeah.
Well, Astini, in his defense, he was already out on the stage, and when you've left the player booth, you can no longer talk to the players.
That's true.
So they might not know that there was this...
Yeah, so maybe if they check their voicemail, they'll see a message. Yep. Very important, but...
Check him PC.
Mine!
No one now level 6, along with Malrine. Are you expecting a slower start to this game, or... Like, how does the Juggernaut play? Like, you go for a farming item, and at what point do you join the fights?
Scanning.
It's like varies a lot from game to game. I think there's it's a hard question to answer. Whoa, hang on. Oh. Surprise. Storm got away. I don't know why I got excited. I think it's a hard question to answer about Jug because a lot of how this hero plays very much comes down to how other lanes go. I think it's one of the less obvious carries. Because in my experience, it's small margins that you're making your moves on. Some other carries are just way more overwhelming level 6, and it's just obvious you want to go through the gate and put pressure, or others are way more passive where you're clearly staying in your lane and going jungle. Jug is a little bit of both, where if there's a good opportunity, you can play around it, but I think a lot of that comes down to how good DM's game is going to be. You want to rotate to a Phoenix that's ready to fight.
Some trouble.
There we go.
No one shows up. The cookie. The Cog's actually on the outside. He gets hit by another one. A big dive coming in from DM, and they will clean up Skeeter as 9 class one more right click, so there is a trade of sorts, but Malrine actually TPs, or actually walked up here, I believe.
Late to the party.
Yeah, a little bit too late to find a connection. No one is relatively low on mana, though.
Oh, can Crit get this?
He's going to try to go for the 7-minute
There's no way he just walks past and gets this, right?
9 class makes his way close by as
he's not going to get it.
Yeah, we'll have to back away now. In fact, might die for his troubles. But
He's
this is a level 4 versus a level 2. No one does have mana to zip up if needed, and he'll do just that. So Crit will be brought down. A good attempt from him. Tries to deny himself onto the creeps. Not going to happen.
That would actually have worked if he wasn't slowed by the fire spirits on his attack speed.
Yeah, that's true.
Couldn't get the swing in.
Kind of looked like a replay of the last game where 9 class had to give up the Wisdom Shrine, and he was like level 2 at that point, I believe.
Yeah. This is a better start for him.
Yeah, for sure.
He's going for the Tranquil Boots here on the Clockwork, so he will have plenty of resources to trade with.
Radiant's middle tower
has the infused raindrops as well to have a little bit more staying power. No one. Yeah,
getting the damage. Nice Cog, forcing Crit back, so the cookie does nothing. Fate's Edict applied to no one.
Reed did get the rune though.
I mean, that is one benefit, is the Juggernaut. I mean, he has Blade Fury for the BKB essentially. Fate's Edict maybe for the Storm Spirit this game, but might have to buy it anyway at some point.
Malrine is bullying him down here. Really trying to put on that pressure. I say Malrine, of course it is a Mar.
Yep, same
to get them confused as they play all the same heroes.
This is true, and that is the true power of Falcons. They've taken advantage of this time and time again. TP mid lane though. Good pressure applied to the tier 1 from Falcons. They'll have to back away now. You say that, of course Malrine has that facet. It allows him to blind towers by hitting them. Very powerful for pushing. I do wonder if that is going to be changed in the future. We'll see.
Yeah. I don't see why this needs to blind towers.
Wow, that was a shriek.
Yep.
Okay.
Gets his level 6 now on DM. Maybe that's why he's happy. Like, I am online. Nice stack here for no one to build upon. But similar to the previous game, you mentioned it, 9 class had a tough game on that Centaur and was low level. This isn't much better. He just cracked level 4 minute 9. It's going to take a while before he really gets there.
This, I don't know, it does feel a lot different than he's Clockwork.
This time he has a hero that's more traditionally good at playing from a slight disadvantage than Centaur is. And he also did get some experience there from the stack and the D ward, so it all adds up and helps heading there.
Oh, DM. Little Shredder doing work against
He
him.
has to egg here if he wants to live, probably.
Most likely will have to. TP's coming, though. He'll withstand the damage and be just fine.
Crit will force the reaction. He keeps trailing him with the threat of the cookie. They bring into Collis for protection. But once again, it is Falcons picking up the pace here. Haste,
no one
the cogs!
Gets the haste. Beautifully done. No one applying so much pressure to Malrine right now, but it looks like 9 class is more worse for wear as the creeps show up along with Snake King and even Skeeter making his way.
Sandstorm's too strong. You can't do anything. I thought maybe they would have more damage in the tank, but of course, level 4 Clockwork, I don't know why I got my hopes up. He's got 2 in cogs, so his damage is negligible. You're running in the Enchantress next to him with the heal, no problem. And his mid tower will be gone in a moment. That blind lasting for so long.
It's pretty crazy.
How long is that? 5 seconds. Huh.
Tier 1 tower secured for Falcons. 3K lead as they are continuing the pressure overall. Carrying over from this game too.
Exactly. It's the same recipe. They forced 9 class off of his most obnoxious heroes onto something, a melee 4 without the same playmaking as Monkey King and the Slark arguably. And they just run them over in the early laning stage. They've taken 2 towers already. All 3 of their cores are happy and farming. And this time around, my biggest concern for PVISION in this game is how long do you have to wait? In the previous game, they kind of felt like they couldn't fight for 20 minutes and then they lost. In this game, when do you come online? Are you strong enough now that Phoenix is level 7 and you have Storm ulti? Can you bring Jug to fights? Because when it comes to just raw team fights, Falcon's lineup is really tough. Pango roll, Epi, Sandstorm, everything about Gyro, Snapfire's massive AoE damage. And one of the most obnoxious things about snaking on the Ench that we have seen for so many games, not as many this tournament, he's a really good scout on this hero. Just runs out in front, tanks up, becomes the primary target, the enemy team commits so much stuff on him, and then his team just cleans up. So how do you enter a fight correctly will be the big challenge here for PVISION. Oh, this will help.
Damage rune for no one.
That's a big opening potentially.
You can see the lead continuing to expand for Falcon's side. Of course, Satanic doesn't have his Battle Fury yet, and that is when he'll feel a little bit more comfortable in... I mean, I don't know if he even wants to join a fight, but if he has to, he technically could. Snake King.
Gonna put it to the test here. How tanky is he?
9 class will get the slow with the rocket. Won't be able to get him inside the cog. Snake King in a 1 versus 4. He's surviving for now, but not for long. They do get the kill as Malrine finds a bigger target. Epicenter Burrow with the Mortimer. Satanic uses the Blade Fury. He has the healing ward up, but it's not going to be enough. Crit takes him out in the end. That is a huge kill for Falcons, and like you said, it required 4 members of PVISION to take out the Enchantress in the top, and that's your trade.
And I wonder if Snaking could have maybe played that a little bit better with taking out a cog. Probably not because of Fire Spirits, but they got 2 cog knockbacks, and in spite of that, the kill took like 15 seconds with the 4 of them. That is worrisome.
Yeah, it feels like they don't have a ton of damage yet. Of course, the Storm Spirit is going to be the most of it without Juggernaut showing up. I mean, it does feel like this is maybe a game as Ducalis has a false promise himself. Amar, nice disruptor from no one. Gets off the electric vortex just in time, but Amar able to get off his ult in the end as he attempts to get out of dodge. TP, looks like he'll be fine. No hook shot yet. 9 class, actually pretty close. That would have been a huge pickup.
I think that would have been a kill a year ago when I believe cogs placed on top of that roll would interrupt it. Do you remember? You played a lot of Pango. You could interrupt it with like Fissure and cogs.
Was that only a year ago though?
Maybe it was more. But
I feel like that's been
maybe 9 class was hoping it got bugged again in the most recent patch.
Yeah, you never know.
Maybe, you know, wishful thinking. Not the case though. This game has no bugs anymore.
That's right. We're out of beta finally.
They fixed them all.
No one has gotten, I think, every single rune. Am I wrong? Like, this is crazy.
And they haven't converted them much.
Yeah, exactly. They haven't been able to do much at all with it. 5K lead for Falcon. Skeeter on the outskirts of the map with his Crystallis in tow. Aghanim Scepter's going to be next. Already about 1,000 into that, so he is having himself a good old time. In fact, all 3 cores for Falcons. Top net worth in the game. But this is where things potentially can change. Satanic finally gets his farming item in the Battle Fury.
Yeah, I think the way it's going to change is that he will farm faster and everything else will be the same. If that counts as a change, then I'll agree.
For him it is. For him it
sure.
is.
He is like, guys, I got my item. I'm going to continue farming. Good luck.
Would you agree with me in the fact that Satanic is one of those carries as Ducalis getting
Nothing
pursued?
connecting.
Amar, Fate's Edict applied, but
kill him. No
doesn't
walls.
have False Promise, so he is down and out. But Satanic does feel like one of those carries that could get, I mean, dependent on the hero, of course, but feels like he has put his team on his shoulders quite a few times in the past.
He's
one
been
of those like, old school type carries, it feels like.
He's been one of the most stable players of the tournament. I can't really recall any game where I was like, man, Satanic really dropped the ball in this game. Like, he's had games that are tougher than others. This could be shaping up to be one of them, but it begs the question, how much could you really have done with the hero you were playing? If he was convincing them to pick Jugger and it turns out there was a bad pick, then maybe you could talk about that, but his overall play in the game so far has been quite solid, given the circumstances. As we are looking at that about 5,000 lead for Falcons, worth noting, almost all of it is in supports. There's a very big lead. Ench is 1,200 ahead of the clock, and Snapfire about 2k ahead of the Oracle. So the brunt of the lead is in those supports, which is worth keeping an eye on, because there's going to be some extra utility items.
Satanic has to use the Blade Fury. Amar continuing to roll. Will focus on the support first, it seems, as the epicenter reserved for Ducalis as well.
Oh, he's not done yet now, maybe.
He does get clipped by Amar. Uses his short as well. Satanic. He's going to get some help in the form of no one, though. Amar maybe overstepping his bounds a little bit too much. Call down, though. Skeeter makes his way over. Amar blocked off now. Gets the hook shot from 9 class as well. Amar looks to be dead. Oh, the barrier! It's so much damage applied to it. Now no one will drop as well. The kisses raining from above. Crit. Double kill. 3 for nothing. Falcons somehow lose no one.
Under attack.
And so do PVISION.
I knew you were going to do that.
That is... Oh, that's the dream fight. This is the dream fight for any hero that can generate barrier, is that you tank all of the damage and then you get a very last second barrier off there. Not only do you survive, but the enemy team used all of their resources trying to kill you. No one depleted his entire mana pool, used hookshot, used egg, and you didn't kill a singular hero. The map is falling apart fast.
Over here now.
No one, unfortunately, jumps in and blocks his own camp to add insult to injury here. A little unfortunate there on the timing. Uh-oh.
This is feeling a lot like game 2. Now the question is, do you force the issue with Satanic joining a fight before he gets a second item? Like, can you even afford to do that? Because he has not been in anything. Like, we haven't seen a single Omni Slash.
Well, he was in that fight, and he didn't have enough mana to use both of his spells because he got swashbuckled once.
Well, that's part of the fact that they're the ones getting gone on, right? They're not doing the initiating. They have 9 class with a hook shot. They have Storm Spirit. They have Dive from DM. They have a lot of ways to get on top of Falcons, but they're just not providing the opportunities.
I think you have to play keep away for the foreseeable future. I just don't see it. I don't think... I mean, it's kind of strange to see these 3 games in this series play out, and it feels like the losing team has the same problem every game. Like, damage issues, the inability to pierce through and win the team fights, and then you're playing this keep away that really
shot.
difficult. Yeah, crit. Okay.
Crit is going to be fine. It's
good bowling.
Some good bowling going on here. Amar, though, not too happy with this exchange as 9 class. Looks like he is going to be the one to ultimately fall, although DM is close by, but just throwing out some fire spirits as Amar gets the killing blow.
This is going to be Ducalis TV for the next 10 minutes. If you want to look at some riveting support gameplay as an observer right now, you follow the Oracle and you notice how close he stays to Jugger. He is going to literally just stand behind him everywhere he goes, because there's no better play.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Okay, he's following Satanic. I've got my eye on it.
Yep, keep us surprised. They have the stun lock for the Storm. No one dead again.
This is
Falcons, 11k lead at 19 minutes.
It's a huge problem here, because even if the Oracle conceptually is really powerful at counter-initiating these moves, you have to pick your poison, because Storm and Jug can't farm in the same area. Then you're losing on efficiency. So you're kind of, as Oracle, it's one of these damn it if you do, damn it if you don't moment, where you protect the Jug, he's not the target, too bad, Storm dies. You protect the Storm, Jug gets jumped, he dies. And there's no obvious way for Ducalis to know where Falcons' move is going to be, because they have no vision on the map except around the mid-tier 1 tower and at the bottom, which is not where they're farming. So every move Falcons is making is very untelegraphed for PVISION. And as a result, it's very, very hard to play the Oracle this game. Man, look at it. They're 2 supports. The combined net worth of Ducalis and 9 class is lower than both enemy supports individually.
Man.
They are so far ahead on the supports. It's crazy.
They're so used to playing with the Monkey King and Slurk. It feels like they don't know how to play Dota anymore. This is a pretty crazy state of affairs.
It's honestly, it's a valid concern if you get so used to a specific playstyle that is hero dependent.
Yeah.
9 class can play a lot of heroes really, really well. It's not like it's Monkey King, Slark, or Bust, right? We've seen him have outstanding performances on tons of heroes, but when you play that archetype strategy 8 games in a row, and then you suddenly get thrown out of it and things don't go according to plan, might take a little bit of warming up. Fortunately for them, of course, this is not an elimination game, so there would be another chance tomorrow if things go wrong. But PVISION, of course, didn't come here today to lose, and on this game, they're not exactly doing a particularly good job at avoiding that.
Yeah, the shard ended up going to
They're not going to get a wisdom either. I mean, the whole map is just on lock, right? You lose the shard, you're losing both wisdoms most likely, and you have taken 1 tower at 21 minutes. Maybe mid will fall here. I'm not sure Falcons really care that much.
Well, Malrine seems to.
He could deny it.
Give them an inch.
Just deny it to remove more gold.
Yep, he'll do just that. And the question only remains for Falcons is when is the first Roche attempt? I mean, their team is not crazy good at it, but it's okay. I mean, the Enchantress can slow it down. You got the minus armor of Little Shredder, and Tango pretty good as well.
It's not that good at killing it, but it's really good at controlling it.
Yeah.
So if PVISION do try to access the fight, as long as Ench is tanking, you're not really taking much of a risk. Snaking can kind of tank it forever. So, but not the plan here. They're hoping to find a lone Satanic or no one down here, but not going to be the case. They still get a good ward out. Now, no one might show himself on the next wave, which could be his death. Or on the ward below him. He's actually playing pretty much perfectly around Falcon's vision right now. But
he's not farming.
Playing perfectly around the vision means standing still. So it's not very useful for the progression of the game. Satanic somehow is almost top net worth, though. Honestly, really impressive that he's able to find this space on the map.
Feels like he always finds a way.
But it comes at the cost of other heroes, and here is that anticipated Roche. Not really much PVISION can really do about it. They can scout it with rockets all they want, but I don't think they're going to try to access it.
No. Absolutely not. I don't believe we've seen Egg, correct?
We have.
We have?
We saw the one supernova when they tried to kill Amar.
Okay. Oh, we haven't seen Omni Slash then.
Okay, you're just going by one spell at a time and hoping you're right?
That's right, 50-50. Aegis goes to Skeeter. How many buildings can they take with this? There's 2 tier 2s remaining, so I assume at the very least they want to do that. But how is their high ground at this stage versus game number 2, where they were able to pretty much take it uncontested?
It's definitely worse. This time you don't have DK Chen, but you can... This is the type of game that could follow the classic Falcons recipe from a year ago, where you're just constricting the enemy team on the map and winning by 1k GPM. Because I think going high ground very early in this one compared to the previous one would be a mistake. I'm not really concerned about your ability to scale and your ability to win later team fights, but I am worried that if you go high ground too early, you could somehow lose a fight against a Storm buyback, for example, or going a little bit too deep, setting yourself up for Omni Slash. Just unnecessary. Just keep winning the map.
Satanic working his way towards the eventual butterfly. They did spot him here, and you can see the scan now coming out from PVISION. We'll have to get
Smoke
back to
him
base.
to run away.
Yeah, this is the state of affairs for the PVISION side. No one is actually camping up. They might want to take this fight. I know that maybe Gyro isn't nearby, but he is. Satanic, he's going to show himself. Now we'll attempt to run away. Peter trying to wonder if this is a trap of any sort, but they don't have to worry about like black hole, anything like that, as Amara won't find no one who will be able to TP out. So just trying to keep things at bay from the PVISION side. as they push that top lane, which is the last remaining tier 2 tower.
I'm just looking at Skitter's inventory. Okay, there we go. He swapped it around. He had a backpack BKB instead of wand.
Oh.
There's some efficiency there being lost. Doesn't matter, though. Okay, maybe they just go for it. I mean, this is...
Ducalis attempted TP. Oh. Ooh, does get out.
That was
very close.
Okay,
And now
is this a siege or not? They could just be pushing in the waves and keeping control. They are posing like they want to force something. And, well, Skitter is a little bit timid, but here we go.
Now, homing missile right now onto Satanic. Sagging himself from Skitter. They're going to get that solo. There's a lot of damage. There's the false promise on the Satanic at the last moment. And that required very little from Falcons.
Yeah, they used a homing missile and a cookie.
That is insane. And now the high ground attempt. They do not have Healing Ward as it's about to run out. They don't have False Promise anymore. As Amar jumping in pretty deep, gets the swashbuckle, able to bounce down to the low ground. Skeeter is getting a little bit low as the Mortimer's Kisses onto 9 class, but the Fate's Edict will be able to mitigate all of the damage. Now BKB online for Malrine, yeah, for now. And that Aegis, I mean, it's still 2 minutes to get some Nature's Attendance for Skeeter, and maybe have a round 2. But this will buy some time for Satan to get that butterfly. Does feel like that is certainly not enough.
He needs that and Ags, then maybe.
The Ags does feel... I mean, we saw Chrysalis play it without Ags, which I wanted to talk to you about, because...
I feel like that was a mistake in that game, personally.
It feels like Jug is so hard to play without Ags.
I would agree 100% with that. On a pro level, I think it's almost an essential item every single game, but... There's always going to be outliers. I don't think that was the case.
Spotted along with Snake King. This is going to be a good pickoff for PVISION.
It's something.
They get a kill. Amar. Oh, he's going to take an Omni Snipe with the creep on that. Actually bounces back to Amar. Satanic completely snipes him. RNG gods in favor of PVISION for that particular moment, at least.
They did a good.
Let's see how much time this buys. I mean, that's basically the Aegis, 45 seconds. Yep. So PVISION showing some life in this game 3.
Falcons are in a position where this is not that big of a deal, but...
Malrine, Epi, on to Ducalis. Satanic Blade fearing away. Has the butterfly at base.
The thing is, even if that's not that big of a deal in terms of the overall progression of the game, just a little bit of a morale boost doesn't hurt. Like, feeling like you can do something in the game successfully has to be nice. You've genuinely made 0 successful moves for like 15 minutes, and you finally find 2 pickoffs and get your Jug to that butterfly. The thing about this game for Jug that's a little bit tricky, though, is if Oracle is not in a good position at all times, and especially if he dies, I think Jug can just get bursted by spells. Even through spin, he can die. There's so much magic damage from the Sand King, there's so much physical damage from the Pango. Kisses are also going to matter, all of it. It adds up. Even though you have 80% magic resist increase, it's still... Like, a lot of the times when you see Jug survive in spin, they get away on like a beat stick of health, right? It's not enough here. There is just so damn much output. Now almost a Satanic for Skeeter. Looking to go to the grand finals by killing PVISION with their carry.
Man, your puns are on point today.
That's right. I talked to Lacoste earlier. It's that aura. Had a good conversation with him in the green room for about 10 seconds. Then we nodded at each other, and it was that transfer of power that I needed for the day.
Keep it up.
And then he left and never talked to me again.
Yep, that's the Lacoste style. Love the guy.
Shout out to Pyrian Flax.
500 gold away for the Aghanim Scepter on Amar, and then he's going to go for the Ghost Scepter so he doesn't have to deal with the Omni Slash anymore, which would mean a Nullifier at some point will be needed for Satanic, but of course he has bigger fish to fry. He needs this Aghanim Scepter first.
I mean, for what it's worth, PVISION aren't losing anymore for a bit. They lost by, I want to say, 500 GPM for a 10-minute stretch. It's kind of flatlined now. Storm is going to get his BKB. Jug is going on his way to that Axe. He's already halfway. you're keeping this afloat. And I think if Falcons could look back on the last 5 minutes of this game, they would feel like they slipped up a little bit because they could have maybe kept this lead growing.
Right.
So in relative terms, this is actually a pretty good 5 minutes for PVISION that I would consider a clear win. Yes, you are behind, but hope dies last in this game.
Satanic is spotted. Nice Blade Fury. They're going to continue to pursue, though, as Amar with the Rolling Thunder will eventually catch up. Ducalis is there. Healing Ward placed. They're going to get some more TP potential. There's the Omni Splash, so on top of Amar, and a lot of them apply to Amar himself, but that Cookie's going to help him survive. Satanic does get the fall in front of the blind, and no one will try to zip to kill off Amar, but this is not going to be enough mana. Amar, so much shield, so much lotus, he's going to be able to heal through it. No, does end up going down to be the cost of the Oracle, though, is Malrine. Big hook shot from Nightclash, gets two stuck in the cogs. Zero follow-up, though. Truly unfortunate for PVISION, but ends up being a 1-for-1. There's no one running out of mana, has to get back to base.
It's another good exchange for PVISION. Sure, it's not an overwhelming win, but it's, again, something. You just keep it alive. You don't have to win a big fight to come back in this game. If you can get even trades or slight victories here and there, we're approaching the point where Juggernaut can start actually becoming scary. The problem for this hero in a lot of the games that we've seen in the last half a year to a year is you kind of, sometimes your power curve is a little weird. Like, you can be good in some lanes, then you enter this stage in the mid game where you're like kind of meh. But when you get to 4, 5, 6 items, this hero can be a complete beast. One of the few carries that can also kill a hero like Ench in a matter of seconds, which could matter here. We've seen so many games where Snaking ends up winning the game for his team by just soaking up abilities and not dying. Juggernaut, not a problem. He's going to cut through Ench in a few swings with the axe, which is now complete.
Yeah, Swift
Scotty
Slash
next.
ready. So Malrine has the Ghost Scepter against the Jug. Amar, like we talked about, that's the next item for him. Does Juggernaut have to get, does Satanic have to get the Nullifier, or can the Phoenix actually get it? That could be potential pickup.
I think the Phoenix one is just too difficult to pull off. Like, you have to be able to be in range for the target that Jug is on. So realistically, he probably needs to get it himself if he sees enough of a problem.
Malrine, gonna be able to get the first strike onto no one, but there's the false promise, keep him alive. And the egg from the low ground, no one will be able to zip away safely. Snaking is destroyed, but now Satanic completely isolated from his team. Burrows right now, right on top of him with the call down of balls, but he still had the Blade Fury. That's doing a lot of damage thanks to the facet of Skeeter getting gone up by no one. He's dead. And now the Sunray healing everybody up the Mortimer's though. Double Burrow strike, and now Falcons will be able to win the fight in the end. 4 for 2. It looked pretty good for PVISION, but they just run out of steam at the end.
Finally, an unpredictable fight. I think neither team really understood the state of the fight. They're just going in there, throwing in everything they had. The key difference maker in this fight is Snaking separating himself from the gyro, eating the Omnislash alone and dying. If he does not create distance from Skitter there, he just dies with Satanic ready. He would have had no target to hit. Look at this replay. So first of all, that rocket flare going to cancel off some blink daggers and the nice save from Ducalis. But keep your eyes now on the Jug. Gets off the Swift Slash, and then this Omni. If Snay does not get over here and end that Omni, Skitter is dead on the spot as well, and the fight is just over. Now instead, Skitter gets to get all of his output through, and tanking no one for a good amount of time, giving his teammates additional space that was needed. And the kiss is just beautiful now. Good spacing from Crit, getting a lot of impact out there. And the grand prize will be an Aegis, but this one is not going to go to Skeeter unless they kill it slowly. He's not able to take it. Well, they are definitely killing it slowly. This is Amar out of the pit, so I guess this is deliberately delaying it.
Looks like it.
They want that Aegis on the gyro. And Skitter almost has the Daedalus as well, so a big level up for the upcoming fight.
Skeeter will get the goodies. Roche banner as well for Mr. Snaking.
CEO Gyro arriving, taking the credit for all the team's hard work.
Yep. He dies, they win team fight. Good stuff. Satanic looking for the Scotty next. Do you agree with that? Obviously, a very good item, but it feels like in these stages of the game, this item could make or break their potential for the comeback. So these ones are really important.
I would kind of like a refresher, honestly.
Okay.
I think the problem here is that he's going to throw out his Swift Flash and his ult, and then he's going to struggle to stay in the fight after that. So I think refresher would be one option. The other one, you talked about the nullifier. I think that was an interesting idea as well. Scotty is a very nice all-round item, and perhaps the logic is with this, he gets way more value out of Healing Ward, he gets more value out of Sunray, he gets more value out of the Oracle save, because there's just so much more to get through. But being tankier on Jug doesn't necessarily convert to teamfight wins if you can't kill the heroes while you survive.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit worried that Falcons are just going to kite him with multiple Ghost Scepters, with Cookie, Glimmer, Force Staff. He needs a way to connect on heroes, and I don't think you can rely on Storm to constantly zip in and find them for you.
Yeah, I think it's not the fact that the Scotty is bad per se, but it's more about you might not be able to get another item this game. Like, the game may end...
It's a
with
legit
Falcons
concern.
lead right now in this Aegis advantage. Yeah, now a refresher for Malrine.
He is so decked out. Very strong right now. I think this is part of the reason why the pros have largely strayed away from Juggernaut. It's just itemization is proving to be a challenge in a lot of games. You're looking at it now and you see Satanic is rich and can buy all the stuff in the world, and you still feel like you need your next 2 items, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that you can sit on 23k net worth and still be unhappy, but...
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Holding the high ground, hoping that Falcons are going to overstep, but not the case. And even if Gyro were to do so, you have to get through the 2 lives with BKB and Satanic. Tall order. And now they're going to advance, but they're doing it together this time, so PVISION have given up a bit of ground. Snaking going to lead the charge. A tough kill. Pike, Pipe, and Drums.
Now, one thing to consider is plenty of buybacks right now. For the side of PVISION. Hook shot right now on the Snaking, but a Cookie to keep him alive. Satanic's already used the Blade Furies. He is now retreating. 9 class is the first to die. Does have the buyback. See PVISION want to continue? Likely not, as no one going to push the waves. And he is going for a big ticket item into the Aghanim Scepter, the blue hole, as we like to call it, DM. This takes some damage, but we'll get back to base.
That Enchantress situation is the perfect example of just standard snaking.
Satanic. He spotted out the zip in. Gyro takes the brunt of the damage to start things out. Roche Banner applied. Only 2 hits away from dying, which would be pretty big. There's the fortification to start things out. No one zips in, gets it, and exits it very successfully. And now the creeps can die, but the tower will fall. Minute 40 on the Aegis. Falcons not having as easy a time going high ground as we saw in game number 2. Satanic, extremely scary, has 4k in the bank as well, so very close to his next item.
And no one could buy the full axe if he wants to take the risk and not have buyback, which...
Buyback Storm is so good, though.
It is. The axe could also lead to a big fight, though. You kind of feel like Falcons as heroes a lot of the time are kind of stacking on top of each other. 9 class.
Oh, that was a Swift Slash, actually. The Ghost Scepter comes out.
Yeah. I've got my eyes on Satanic's itemization. He hasn't changed it yet. You saw the Ench attempt. He doesn't feel like he can Omni-Slash because the kill takes too long. Ench is going to pike away. Maybe you jump over to another hero with Ghost Scepter and then you're just dead.
Yep, Skeeter going to
Really
secure
hard.
the range barracks. Can they get the melee? 45 seconds on the Aegis right now. Homing missile, it will hit. He's going to take considerable damage, but there's a Fate's Edict. Mitigate the rest of the magic damage. Swift Slash. Skeeter. There's the epicenter. Burrow Strike combination from Malrine. Ghost Scepter's not going to help 9 class. First to fall. No one already popping the BKB. Fighting some pressure out of the Gyrocopter. 30 seconds on the Aegis. No creeps though, so backdoor protection is here. Do they have enough damage to actually get through this barracks? Finally, it comes to be. And Falcons gets their first barracks of the game.
Outworld Staff is just something else against Jug.
True.
It's such a hard counter. He Swift Slashes Skitter. Skitter presses 1 button and then it ends the Swift Slash or the Omni Slash if there's no secondary target. So as long as Gyro is separated from his teammates, if he can't die in a stun lock, he can always just bait Jug.
True.
Just waste out one of the abilities. An item that we generally see a lot of pros pick up in a lot of games, and a lot of the time, honestly, it feels like a little bit underwhelming. But against Jug, it's so easy to use correctly. I think part of what makes Outworld Staff interesting is the skill cap of it is very, very high. It's kind of like old Monkey King Mischief, where you're trying to dodge, you know, one attack at the perfect timing or whatever. Well, similar to Mischief in general, I should say. But yeah, against Jug, it's just obvious.
Yeah, having 3 is pretty nice for the Falcons side, have to say. Good RNG on the neutrals.
Refresher Phoenix.
Yes, that is a definite big ticket item. And no one actually opted to finish Parasma instead of going for the blue hole.
Okay. I think the call they made was we don't have enough damage to kill a single hero. We need the damage from Storm.
Yeah, Switch Slash actually baits out the Outworld staff as no one zips in, zips out.
He can't go on anyone. They have 2 good formation and good spacing here. And
Epicenter, that's a lot of damage! Can they get the saves on the Satanic? Gets off the Omni Slash at the last moment. He's ice for the rest of the team. No one pops the BKB. On top of Snake, he's doing the first of all. Satanic in a lot of trouble. He has the false promise supply. Will attempt to get out. Mortimer's not going to reach him. Malrine super low on HP. For all that, it was a 1-for-1 with a buyback coming out from Ducalis. Satanic back to relatively good HP levels. The zip from no one. Won't find one support. And Amara gets away safely.
That was such a heads-up play from Malrine, but just not quite enough. He manages to find the angle through the Jug and threatening Oracle in the backline at the same time with the Pango. So Ducalis has to ult himself, but Satanic does live through it. That time around, Descati made a big difference. I think he might have died with a Nullifier, for example, needed the extra tankiness.
A small little detail. Obviously, they have the tools to deal with the Omni Slash, but when they grouped up, the cleave is no joke on the Omni Slash. That was a lot of damage coming out from Satanic.
Part of why the Ags on Storm could be interesting too, but I understand no one's perspective of buying the Parasma, because you're kind of struggling to kill a singular target that's isolated, and that's what Falcons is taking advantage of. So if the Storm has that extra bit of output, perhaps you can bring down the first guy and break the fight open.
He's not far away already, so 3,500 gold in the bank. Of course, buyback is a very important thing to hold on to.
If Falcons were to find Ducalis now and kill him, it could end the game to kill the 5. Because I think the only reason PVISION can defend in the fashion that they are is that there's constantly this false promise on backup for the Jug. Otherwise, you can just pile on him and kill him with everything you have, but they're unable to. Ducalis' buyback being forced there, though, should open up the map. Now you have to play exceptionally carefully as PVISION. Tormentor will go to Skeeter.
Yeah, that's all 5 shards now for Falcons.
I don't know where I'm at right now with no one, if you should buy out or save buyback. I kind of feel like you have to all in and buy that Ags and hope for the best. Satanic is queuing up MKB in an attempt to try to deal more with the gyro. Guess you could make a case that gyro is not your primary target this game and you're trying to break open the fight by killing the other heroes, but again, the problem, the Ghost Scepters, they got 3 of them, and Ench has Outworld staff. It's not easy out there. He's about to hit level 25, though.
Because you don't really have a solution to the Outworld staff at all, because Nullifier's not going to do anything. All you can do is stun lock.
Send an email to Gabe Noel. That's the best solution you have, is to try to make a case for it.
I have to say, the Outworld staff, even though I thought it was going to be a terrible item in this patch, everybody's going for it. It's felt underwhelming, but against Jug,
it's just so good against Jug.
It's just a hard counter.
It's the best hero in the game to have it against.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Unsurprisingly.
That's why he hasn't been picked that much. Now we know.
It adds added to the pile of problems, right? There goes Roche.
Another Roche for Falcons. Aegis, Cheese, Refresher Shard, Roche banner.
Who do you give the shard to? Probably the Pango. Yep.
MKB is what Satanic went for.
And they already have a wave all the way down here, so I think this is just straight up to the high ground. Skitter is going to perfectly line this up with a level 25 as well, get the additional flak cannon attacks, or the cooldown rather. So now that's down to a 16-second cooldown. A lot of pressure about to be put here onto PVISION. Can they hold? This
Lots
is
of buybacks available.
Biggest moment of the game. This is such a hard defense.
Oh, the force staff nicely done onto the gyro. He's in a lot of trouble. Taking a full army slash. Skeeter able to get the Outworld staff though, and 9 Class is the first to fall. Big egg with the Sunray, but Skeeter is being able to heal through this quite easily as Malrine does get stunned by the egg. Now gets Cookie to the low ground. Falcons A-OK. Force the buyback on the 9 class. Now they can reset. Roche Banner will be cleaned up. There's a damage rune in the bot side of the river. Not sure if they have vision there.
That was egg number 1 and a buyback on clock. So now both supports, really good targets for Falcons to take down.
And they will spot it. And they will bottle it from Malrine. So likely to wait for the epicenter to get back. You got the Dazoon Blood right, by the way. I'm not sure if you mentioned that. So
luckily for you, I did not.
Extra AoE for Malrine. Probably the best tier 4 possible for this hero.
I think in this game it's the second best. I think the best one is Outworld Staff.
Yeah, maybe, actually.
In general, yes. This is the best.
All right, well, no one. Yeah, definitely holding on to his money for this buyback, for this eventual push with this next 3 minutes that Falcons have to work with.
He got his 25 as well. PVISION, despite being 27k down, are starting to have a lot of damage, as a matter of fact. So now Jug is almost 6 slotted. The Storm 25 is a massive improvement. You got 2 Supernovas. The main problem is that your supports offer so little. I mean, look at the pitiful net worths in this breakdown. It's kind of unreal just how far behind they are compared to the counterparts. So they don't offer that much. The cores, even with this deficit, I feel I can put up a fight, but can you protect the supports? If they die first, the game might just end. 25
there
as
it
well
is.
on a Mar.
There it is. Aghanim Scepter for no one. Blue hole ready to go. He has 2,500 in the bank, so buyback still intact. Skeeter now. They have the 1 lane. He's going to take the electric board. Takes a lot of damage, actually. He's dead. That's life number 1. Falcons need to be ready. Rolling Thunder coming. Malrine misses the Burrow Strike. Gets the epicenter off, though. Satanic easily be able to clear it. Beautiful egg just in time. No one, they kill off the egg. Double kill for Skeeter. And now the pressure applied to Satanic. He gets off a big Omni Slash. Actually kills off Malrine on the other side of the screen. Somehow, a huge blue hole onto 2. And somehow PVISION is defending. Snakey goes down to the blade form as Amar, the last remaining member of Falcons, will TP out. Some way, somehow, PVISION defends.
There's your damage.
That bounce on the Omni Slash was absurd. He doesn't have a blink dagger, so I thought for a second that he blinked after Omni Slashing. That was very fortuitous for Satanic.
I think seeing that, maybe no one should buy his shard too. Like just full on, jump in, pop everything, just blast them before they can even react. That's scary stuff. I mean, look at this first kill.
Yeah, they kill him so fast.
This is without using Swift Flash. It's just attacks. I think Falcons just did not expect the damage to come out so fast. Malrine is stunning heroes that aren't in the game there.
They did kill off the egg really quickly, but the buyback obviously helping out big time. Look at this jump. Look at this jump. On all the creeps, they're fortified. That is crazy. And the blue hole to finish the job.
I will say, though, in this situation, Falcons did actually not use their Outworld Staffs all that well. Malrine used it outside of the Omnislash, and then when it came to ward him in the end, he had it on cooldown. Trying to use it in anticipation, perhaps, of Satanic going for him. You have to hold it. You have to wait and try to clutch it up. But there's so much to keep track of in these fights. Gotta be careful you don't waste it. But what a hold. PVISION. Now Satanic is gonna get that refresher soon. He has the gold for it. Might just synth his Ags first into a blessing. How much is he missing for that and buyback? It can't be more than like 2,000, which sounds like a lot, but really isn't at 48 minutes. It's quick to farm. This game is...
Yeah, this is shaping up to be a good one now.
This is pretty close, honestly. 16k lead, I think it's largely inconsequential because the 16k lead for the most part is sitting on the supports, and in spite of not having those big items on the supports, they're still getting their spells off every fight. Ducalis has good positioning. They get off every single hookshot cog combination. 9 class manages to find impact with very little.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And now if you're Falcons, do you understand the game state is the other thing. You're playing a lot on feel in these late game scenarios. You probably felt like you had a big lead. Now you lost a fight. What's the read? Is it we need to farm more? We have to get to our next set. We have to get Roche. And conversely for PVISION, maybe you feel like, okay, we're actually strong enough to fight them head on. Now we're going to contest the next Roshan for once.
Who thinks PVISION is going to go to the grand finals? All right. And how about Falcons? All right. Slightly Falcons favored, I'd say, in terms of crowd. But I agree. This is, I mean, the buyback for the Phoenix was a very big deal, but the game has slowed down dramatically now.
It feels like you can buy the time for the next buybacks now.
Yes.
Which is the big deal. Because you're looking at this Phoenix, and yes, there's room to grow, but essentially for the key part of this game, DM has everything he needs until the game is over. He has 2 Shivas, 2 refreshers, 2 ultis, and almost level 25. Everything after this, it's nice, but it's not necessary. Having Hex could be cool, but...
I mean, Aghanim Scepter is kind of crazy, isn't it?
It's also risky. You saw how quickly they killed the egg.
That's true.
You might not want to pull a Toronto-Tokyo. Of course, there was that very famous clip with Nightfall.
Oh, yeah.
Basically killed him and lost the game.
That was rough.
That's one of those things that's not easy to bounce back from, but...
They're still teammates.
Yeah, I suppose.
All right, so looking at Skeeter, I mean, I don't even know what you can do here. You replace your boots, I suppose. He looks like he's going for Manta style, so to try to mitigate a little bit of the Omni Slash.
Generate more targets for Jug.
All right, I know we're not there yet, but I have to ask a question. Tier 5 items, do you keep the Outworld staff? I'm not kidding.
You get Helm of the Undying if you get off.
Well, okay. Well, sure. If you're going to get something completely broken, obviously.
Yeah. Maybe you replace it for Sister Shroud.
Oh, yeah. The classic.
I think it's better than some tier 5s in this game. But I would say, let's see. It's depending on the hero, you definitely want to get the Helm of the Undying, I think, on all of them over it.
Yep, of course.
Aside from that, Fallen Sky can effectively perform the same function, right? So that's also a nice replacement. Book of the Dead, more trash for Jog to jump on.
True.
I mean, you laugh, but it's queuing up Manta. That's the only reason.
That is true. Smokes on both sides. Invis for Malrine. Another rune about to come. It will be
Arcane.
No one. Arcane. Oh boy, he's going to start this out right off the bat onto the Sand King. Sunray applied as well. Will burrow to the high ground. Gets cookied for safety's sake. And now, the roll was actually very deep for Amar, but doesn't look like Falcons want to pursue. So they have that mid lane as no one.
He's onto him.
He is, but he's getting low on mana right now. There's the epicenter burst right combination. Malrine coming in, gets the bash as well. Into the back, there's no one. He zips away, but out of mana. On the Hanger. The Mortimer's kisses, but the Fate's Edict will heal him. And now he is going to be A-OK. Can PVISION now turn the tide onto Falcons instead? 9 class. Running up front, gets the cogs onto Snake King. Bounce left, right, and center. The Bambi gets away safely.
Oh, that was really close for no one. He gets saved by the Fate's Edict. He gets a big Lotus as well, if not 2. That transfusion really helping, but nobody dying in that exchange.
Amar with the bash into the abyss. So the Fate's Edict supplied though. Now there's 3 members of PVISION nearby. He uses the Swift Slash. Satanic still with his ult available. Has the refresher as well. And they're going to back away. This is super tense. Mount Abyssal Blade finish from Malrine. They just want to bash Satanic.
It is so hard for Satanic to use his spells correctly. He's playing into, let's see how it's that, 3 Ghost Scepters, 2 Lotuses, and 3 Outworld Staffs. Like, how do you use your spells reliably unless they're used on a stunned target? The risk-reward.
Yeah, those Lotus Reflects can be
crazy.
brutal.
Now with the refresh and the blink, perhaps he can just brute force his way into it.
Roshan, a huge belch that everybody can hear as PVISION attracted to the sound. Yeah, Battle Fury has been backpacked finally. As the Blink Dagger will eventually be a Swift Blink, but obviously wants to keep...
Trying for the rune here, Satanic.
It is a haste top, so nothing super consequential at this stage of the game. 3 gems in the game right now as well.
So it's 2 abyssals as well on the Dire side. So 2 times the lockdown in attempts to kill Jug. Effectively, their entire itemization is against 1 hero.
That's true. They have Oracle, Cinder. They know the runes.
There's a lot to keep track of.
How dare you forget such a thing?
A lot to keep track of in Pro Dota.
Dire are scanning.
Well, you say, how did I forget? It was Jug who went for it.
Yeah, no, I know. That's the ironic part.
How did he forget?
55 minutes in, smoke from PVISION. They scan out as well, so they know Falcon's location. Snaking a very good frontliner for a support.
Yep. Feels like an item that we could have seen in this game was Wind Waker.
Yeah, for sure.
There has been 0 of them purchased yet. And I don't think you have to worry all that much about the Oracle Purge, because he's going to backline a lot onto Ducalis. It's not easy to get in for the offensive Purge. But nobody's queuing it up. Jump in.
Oh, that's a big Onyx. That does a lot of damage. Down goes Skeeter. Buys back, but there's even some way now into the start. They have to bash him again. No one is dead to Malrine now. Amar doing so much work in this fight. They're not going to buy back on their Skeeter. Satanic in quite a bit of trouble. Will pop the Blade Fury, getting healed up. We'll be able to get out of dodge as a result. Lose 2, buyback on 1. That was a huge kill on the Skeeter. Obviously has buyback available, but doesn't want to expend it unless he needs to. Can PVISION try to force a fight? Crit.
Honestly,
we spotted high ground.
I see Veins not buying back there. A really tense moment. I feel like a lot of players just insta-click the buyback and take the fight, but stays patient. However,
PVISION
this would be a big grab.
This. Yes. If it's scouted by Falcons, does Skeeter buy back? He's already at half health. They're running out of time here. There's a lot of shit inside Roche.
Yeah.
Nine class.
Known to be constipated.
Oh yeah, he's big time. He's about to blow. Snaking. Gonna get some vision. Gonna get his heal off to start things out. Gets the vision back. Satanic gets the road. There's still goodies inside. As the epicenter's about to come, I believe. Amar with the road. Stuck inside the cogs. His DM pops the refresher. 9 class goes inside the pit. Uses the shard to get out. So in the end, they do get all the goodies from Roche as PVISION. Despite being down and out, it felt like early on. Now, quite possibly might be an advantage despite being 20k down. Do have to worry about this mid lane though at all times.
Do not believe the graph. It is lying to you. This is not 84% Dire.
Are you kidding?
I refuse to believe that they're a 6-1 favorite in this game. This feels like a 50-50 to me.
Man,
that is crazy.
Maybe he has brain lag. Few minutes behind.
15 maybe, 20. Okay, no one is going to get the refresher shard from that Roche. So now, this next fight, the amount of artillery that PVISION have is insane. It could become a little bit problematic here for Falcons to defend their primary targets at this point. When the damage is getting this crazy, you don't have a hardcore, reliable save like the Oracle, Shadow Demon, you know, something like this. You've got a cookie, which is nice and all. But the damage is going to be quick, and this makes it even worse. Perfect rune for Satanic now.
Oh my god.
The amp damage. You've got to look for trouble here, surely. You've got 3 minutes on the Aegis, the double damage in your bottle.
Holy jeez.
You just need to see anyone and jump them with a stun, and they just die in the blink of an eye.
Satanic running out of slots. Has the bottle, of course, that he will use soon enough. MKB or Manta will take its place. Still going for... I actually changes Abyssal to a Moon Shard.
DM? Okay. No bash. That could have gone spicy.
Yeah,
Has the Travels 2 now, so he can deal with bottom and still connect to an eventual fight. And Juggernaut seems like a pretty safe Travels 2 target in this game. He has not been burst really a single time. With the protection that they have from the Oracle, it's difficult for Falcons to pierce.
Final tier 2 of the... Well, actually, no, there's a tier 2 top still, despite Falcons having the lane advantage right now.
They're spilling out bottom. And then TPing back. A strategic move like we've never seen before.
Unbelievable. We are 30 seconds away. I've been waiting the entire main event for this, Cinderin. The tier 5s are coming. Can we get some tier 5 cheers in the crowd?
Who loves Sister Shroud? Okay, good.
All right, very educated crowd
That's
here.
all I wanted to hear. That's great.
Cinderin will not be happy with that until it is literally deleted. I know you.
That's the thing about Dota players, though. Everybody hates or dislikes something.
Skeeter,
the game has everything.
Yeah. Skeeter buys the Midas so he can get a guaranteed neutral.
But fortunately, we love way more. Isn't that right, Shannon?
That's right.
We love the cart.
Oh, man. Let's talk about Centaur
The
cart
love
right
is
now.
bigger than anything you would dislike.
Grab ally and the cart.
Yep,
Man.
that's right.
Neither of those heroes in this game, of course.
That doesn't matter.
All right, how many Helm of the Undyings are we going to see?
Oh, yeah. That's honestly, that might be the story of this late game. It's so good for both teams, shockingly, as it is good.
Oh, my God.
But against Jug.
Satanic gets Helm.
Yeah, but what do you
He's thinking about it.
Dire are scanning.
Oh, he goes for Stygian. Okay, very, very confident young man.
Audacious Stygian is a lot of damage.
It is.
It is a lot. Unrelenting Eye.
Ah, interesting. Fallen Sky for DM.
So more status resist for every enemy hero within 600 units, just trying to not get comboed, I suppose, on the Storm.
Yeah, I think Unrelenting Eye is definitely an underrated tier 5. It doesn't sound all that sexy, but it's got to be good. It's just Helm of the Undying, though. It's super crazy.
Okay, who can craft? Ench, Gyro, Sand King. Okay, all 5 of them on Falcons have crafts ready.
Do they keep the Outworld staff? Another Stygian. So Skeeter and Malrine go Stygian.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Amar cannot choose. He cannot choose the Helm. We see the book on Snap. Helm of the Undying on Ench.
All right.
Arguably, maybe the least impactful one they can get because the spells that Snaking offers after dying are.
Yeah, another Helm of the Undying
critical.
for 9 class, so 2 supports have it.
This is a game where recrafting could become a real thing, though.
Oh, full smoke from Falcons. They have 5 out of 5 tier 5s. They're not going to find any opening, though, unless they want to go straight for the base, which is obviously quite the risk. Oh, maybe an opening onto the Clockwork. Snaking, going to be blocked off by the shards, though. BKB already popped from no one, but all the pressure he can to Malrine, but he's able to get out just fine. Satanic already used the false promise on him. He's going to put down the healing ward. Feels like a win for Falcons in terms of that small engagement. 9 class though, homing missile, swashbuckle to follow. That's a lot of damage from Amar. Using that ult as well, right on top of him. He's dead. Oh my God. Dying there, but Malrine gets off the Emissar and the Pro Strike onto the Phoenix. Can they get the stun lock? Can they get the egg up? Yes, he does with the Sunray to follow. Do they have the damage to get through? Do they have the right to slash on Satanic. The egg is killed off. The reflected Lotus. And Skeeter now. They have the numbers. They have the numbers onto Satanic, and he's dead. Has the buyback, though.
Oh my God, I think he
has another
misclicked.
egg at his disposal.
I think he misclicked. He Swift slashed the Lotus first, and then he Omni slashed the same target. I think so, at least. I mean, it's hard to keep track of everything in those fights, but they both definitely got reflected back to back. Satanic stuck in an anime teamfight loop.
And
nobody died.
No one? Oh, no one. Able to zip out. They have the buyback on Satanic. They do not have one on 9 class, though. Snake King likely to hold on to his, as this is a second lane now for Falcons. Not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. We are 64 minutes in. Amar looking for the Abyssal play, or actually the Basher since it's on cooldown. Still that tier 2 top, very pesky.
They're getting it at 64 minutes. They had map control for like 20 of these.
Yeah.
Just never went for it, but
Better
now
late
it's time
than
to
never.
strike. They really want this buyback out of Satanic.
Oh, 100%. They have the buyback. Oh, oh my god, this is the buyback for DM! There's no one now getting control. E-Blade applied. He's dead too. Has the buyback in tow. Satanic has to scurry back to base as the Rolling Thunder applying to the call with a fucking BKB on Oracle, for God's sake. It's 64 minutes in. No one gonna force everybody else back. The Falcons are actually gonna live on most of these members. Satanic looking for a target. E-Blade now. There's the Hex. There's the Malreid. He's gonna be able to get bashed though. Gets the burrow to the low ground. 9 class. Doesn't have hook shot up. Skeeter blocking the way. Gonna get blocked by the Cogs. 45k net worth lead for Falcons. Another E on this Proxys. 9 class onto the high ground. He's stuck up here now. Oh no, he's dead. Helmet of the Undying activates as no one completely out of bounds. He's getting a flashback. Oh my god! That's Satanic trying to get away. Only 2 members up. Actually, he's the lone member. Gets off the Omni Slash at the last moment, but the Golf Blades are too much. He cannot get through them. No nullifier. And now trying to trickle back to his fountain. He's the last remaining member of PVISION. Gets stunned up, but now in the fountain. Falcons have everybody alive. As now Satanic buying the BKB for one last hurrah. Goes in for the back. That is a lot of damage, but now the E-Blade keeping him alive. Omni Slash reflected. He's going to be dead. Satanic is down and out. And that means Falcons will be going to the grand finals.
Wow, what an insane game this turned out to be. 45 minutes ago, you could have told me this would be 30 minutes long and I would believe you. But PVISION, man.
Every other team has. They need to shut down